Oh, we're getting on it. What's happening? Hit that like. All right. Okay. Come on now. Three, two, one. Come on, let's start it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Congrats to Aaron West for what? I missed that part. I don't care, actually. Congrats, Aaron West. I don't care what it's for, as long as it's something good, and I'm pretty sure it is. Also, I'd like to send out some love to Andrea, our mod slash celeb booker, who has just returned, I think, from perhaps dental work and might be a little loopy. So if you get kicked to the curb today, I would blame nitrous oxide. That's what I would say. It's just for the record. I'm going to blame it all on painkillers. And you notice how it's a little thing that's made. Maybe the idea of killing the pain is part of the problem, because nobody ever gets addicted to pain relievers. You know what I mean? You never heard a story about somebody who's just down and out and lost their relationship and is falling apart, and they're not welcome in their old haunts anymore, and nobody wants to be around them because they got hooked on low dose aspirin and ibuprofen and lost their fucking mind. Yeah, you never hear that story. You never hear somebody going, "Yeah, I had a friend who the addiction got a hold of him. He was chasing that. It wasn't so much a dragon. It's more like a toy from How to Train Your Dragon." And there's a lot that goes with it. Minor nicks and cuts don't bother him anymore, so he tends to bleed a lot more than he used to. And his heart healthy, though. I mean, at least if you believe the old science. Am I wearing an Urban Cowboy tie? Excuse me. I'm wearing a Paul Stanley-esque denim jacket. So I have a bunch of jackets, as you might have figured out. Because it is, as a jeans and t-shirt guy, it is my single point of accessory, other than my my mystical medallion, which gives me special powers. And it just means that I'm the one to find the golden child. And I bought it from a guy who called me an asswipe in Tibet. It's a long story. Anyways, so I only have these. I can only do that. I can only accessorize with jackets. The problem is that jackets are, I guess, one of the few things where if you don't break them in, they if they were stiff when you got them, you're like, "Yeah, I like it. It feels good. It looks good. It'd be good stage wear, but it feels like fucking cardboard, and I can't." And with sandpaper in the elbows, and I gotta break this son of a bitch in. And if it was, if it's the 60s, I'd have one jacket and that'd be it. It'd be broken in because it would be completely coated in my own human oil. And the dust mites that live on all of our skin would have broken down the attachment fibers to a lot of it, and it would just be fucking silky by now. But since I have collected jackets over the year, and we've been going through our storage space, where apparently my entire life resided for the longest time. The I'm gonna have a show and tell with you guys fairly soon to to that's gonna is gonna knock your socks off. And I don't mean, by the way, let's see, where is it? Yeah. For those of you that don't know, I don't mean this kind of sock. Yes. This is, for those of you that don't know, um uh wardrobe from my time on Queer as Folk. Now sometimes this is it. That's all I'm wearing. That's it. Everything, you just stuff everything in there and just hope for the best. Then you just cinch it and yeah, that's right. These were, by the way, specifically, excuse me, it stretches. Calm down. Also, it was Canada, so everything was freezing. So you have to factor shrinkage in. That said, yeah, you have to kind of spend a lot of time, and they're all designed specifically for, all of us, right? Yeah. We didn't use, it wasn't like a drawer of them. Yeah. So just saying, this is the why, so we could do nude scenes without our junk showing, because A, there's rules about that in certain situations, and B, we were shooting a drama about stuff, not porn. So specifically, one size fits no one. It fits everyone, or whatever. I would always think about that. I would always make a joke when they would hand us these things, because they all basically look the same for everybody, but we had our own separate ones. And I'd always be reminded of the line by Mandy Patinkin when he's talking to James Caan in Alien Nation, when he pulls the condom out of a wrapper, and he goes, what is that? He goes, it's a, Coney Island whitefish. I do not understand. It's a human males put this on their so when they, so that they don't make babies. And he goes, you mind if you're going to use this? And the lady goes, I have my own. Thank you. He tears it open, and then he stretches, he puts it on, and he goes, and it fits? And he goes, yeah, but I mean, it stretches. And he goes, and still it fits? It's just like a dick. It's so good. This Mandy Patinkin is just fucking lovely. And if you haven't seen Alien Nation, then you won't understand that joke. That's all I'm going to leave it to. But, I mean, that is, it's so good. It's so good. Just the line, oh my God, I'm so milked over, is lovely. Alienation is great. And like and it's going to bug me now because I'm going to blitz on it because I didn't, hold on. Let's see, because he'll be way down in the bottom because he only had one scene, basically. Yeah, where is he? This dude. Where is he? Yeah. Yeah. So, Roger Aaron Brown, I got to try to find a picture of him. Roger Aaron Brown plays his partner in the, it's one of those, they killed my partner and I'm going after, but I'm not going to blow it for anybody. It's essential to the plot. It's pretty obvious from the beginning that he has a partner in the beginning, and then he ends up being partnered with the newcomer alien. So clearly, spoiler alert, but come on. Okay, so, Roger Aaron Brown. Let me show you the picture here. This is Roger Aaron Brown. Roger Aaron Brown plays his Bill Tuttle, I think his name is. His partner, James Caan's partner in the beginning. And let me tell you something about this actor. Roger Aaron Brown is so fucking good that in effectively 2 scenes, one in a car and one as it's happening, as the big plot point happens, he is so good, you instantly understand that they have a real relationship. They are true partners. That his death is going to be meaningful. there are a couple of actors where they have one of these like, they killed my partner and therefore I will avenge him, and you're like, I don't know if you guys even like, I don't see it, right? Know what I'm talking about? It's good, and you get on to, maybe the story sweeps you up and they cover it with music, but the relationship, there's no chemistry. This guy, Roger Aaron Brown, as an actor, has chemistry with fucking everybody. Just like to say that. And he is so smart, sweet. The lines are fucking tight. Like, you don't see the page, which is my big issue with a lot of, especially in sci-fi, because people have an issue with that stuff. But yeah, just he was like on Supernatural. He's been on a bunch of stuff, but he's just not one of those guys that like necessarily people break through or whatever. You'll recognize him from shit. But god damn, he's so good. He's fucking good. I just want to, can I just, we'll just throw that out there for a minute. So, anyways, just putting that out there, because there are some people and you just gotta know that they're just super goddamn good. So, just saying. Let's see, that's gonna be the biggest thing he's known for. Anyways, yeah, you recognize him. He's a character actor, been around for a while, but can we just celebrate some of those folks? Yeah, right. Yeah, goddamn right. Chat room, he's good. Never seen the guy? Yes, you have, Karate Joe. That's the thing. You absolutely have. Yeah. Hit again. Yeah, Mark. If Mark knows, watch Alien Nation. You will know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Just saying. All right, there we go. Now let's. Shall we start the show? Come on, let's get it started. Let's start off with. Oh wait. How do we bounce back and forth in this? Because there's so much fucking craziness. Okay. Yeah, let's start here. Okay, so you guys remember this dickhead, right? Apparently he was like for those of you who don't know, this guy was like an American president for one term. He's in the history of one-termers, he's sort of the sleaziest. Like, he's the only one that really only got it for, being a sleaze. That's it. Yeah. So in case someone's watching this in the future. And for the record, in this picture, he's 76 years old. And according to him, he's in the best shape of his life because he's in absolute shit shape, and he always has been. Now, that said, one of the things about this guy that nobody really talks about, and I try to address it sometimes when we look at some of his rallies. I don't even call them rallies anymore because they're in half-filled gymnasiums. So, he's not even fundraising. It's because like a rally would be to rally the voters in a particular area, but half the audience are like deadheaders who follow him the fuck around, right? And so, yeah, I don't know that he's rallying anyone in particular except the people that are already with him. Anyway, so, yeah, this guy was in 8th grade when the guy who's currently president was a senior. Just to give you some sort of level of difference between their ages, right? Okay. Anyways, and here he's in a picture showing you just how small his hands really are. That said, one of the biggest traits about this guy, and again, this is for people who are watching later in the future, after they've dug up. I've managed to put all my shows in a crystalline storage diamond, and after we've all left the Earth and we live to be like 18,000 years is the current human lifespan, and we're in different galaxies doing all kinds of shit, and I'm in some cryo sleep somewhere, and the Earth is hit by something, and a bunch of the storage facilities that we've implanted in the Earth's core crack and break off, and the diamond that is storing all of my leftover shows is tumbling through space, and it's found by alien life, and they just are like, the fuck was that all about? Like, oh, it's hilarious. In case you're watching that now, I'm talking to the aliens out there. Okay, this guy was ultimately inconsequential, and he caused a sort of a global and nationwide freak out, but sort of the same way that like unleaded gas made people weird for a little while. You know what I mean? There was a group of people who thought it was or piping water into people's houses. There was like a section of humans who thought they were fluoridating it, not to protect you against dental caries and fucking, I don't know, cavities, and which are tied to heart disease, and they're attempting to try and to save people's lives by doing it. But it was doing to soften your brain and make you easily controllable or something. The same people that freaked out about, water being piped into houses are the same kind of people who were like, this guy's a thing and he'll be a thing forever. Same shit. Okay, just a different dumb thing they attach to. Ultimately, though, the biggest problem with him is that unlike a long, drawn-out conversation about fluoridated water with a relative at Thanksgiving, this guy got old pretty fast, both physically, mentally, and in terms of storytelling and anecdotally. And there's a way to prove that. Now, I will say at the time, just in case, just to clarify, Joe Biden was ever so slightly boring, but in the sort of like grandpa boring. You know what I mean? Not genuinely boorish. I guess that's the difference. Biden's slightly boring because he's just getting shit done and he's not making a lot of noise and he's just doing his goddamn job and there's other shit to talk about. So by comparison, right? He'd be boring to some people, but this guy was bore-ish and a big fucking bore, right? Okay. Right. And so people created, as a dig against this asshole, the Dark Brandon character. This idea that there's this like tough side of Biden that you don't know about, and he channels it, and they made this kind of meme about it because it was funny. Nobody really took it that seriously, but people just kind of went, Dark Brandon Sykes again. But no, nobody's like, oh fuck. In his secret moments, he truly is Dark Brandon. Nobody believed that shit at all. Except maybe some right-wingers believed that other people believed it. That's basically it. It's just dumb. It's cool, but it's, but anybody who believed that it was a real thing is a lunatic. Meanwhile, though, the reason they believe it's a real thing and the reason they believe that Democrats who talk about Dark Brandon or bring it up are really kind of like, enamored of the idea as opposed to just thinks it's cool or funny. You could be a generalized dipshit, or you could be on TYT, which would be like, I would guess, a specialized kind of dipshit. Yeah. So, diluted either way, but yeah, that's the important part. But this guy was a bore and increasingly got boring. And now, hang in there, how do you counter the fun, silly, and yet kind of energizing thing about Dark Brandon that comes up? How do you do that? Well, obviously, you create this bullshit. So this is and we got to thank CSL for this. That as we all, God damn it, this is going to drive me crazy. As we all kind of, half jokingly enjoy the Dark Brandon as a meme, the Republicans genuinely felt attacked and left out in the cold. Like, why don't we have a Dark Brandon, right? And so they tried this like elementary school kid drawing a superhero body under his own school picture attempt. And then this broke motherfucker decided to sell them. Digital trading cards only. Only, as my mother would say, only $99. Shit. Just like baseball cards, but you collect them digitally. Well, thank you for explaining it to me. See, here I thought this was just fucking ridiculous. But when you put it in terms like that, it's I guess antiquated and ridiculous. Okay. We accept credit cards and crypto. I guess this is part of the de-dollarization move by Trump Central. We accept credit cards. Buy now. Mugshot edition now available. Now, I think technically speaking, yes, $99 for one. I mean, maybe there's a collection. Hold on. We don't know. See some of the amazing Mugshot edition trading cards. Now, there's a couple of things you're going to notice about these cards when I show them to you. Because there's a little arrow pointing to them. We have to, oh God. In this edition, some cards will even be one of ones, which means the only one in the world. It's in parentheses in case you don't know what one of one means. As opposed to two of one or one of two or 2 by 2 or something along the lines of, number twos somehow. I don't know. Anyways.
I like fighting number 2.
Sure. Yeah, you do. Okay. Now, you're going to notice some things right off the bat. Some things are going to strike you as standing out. One, like Trump has never had visible musculature in his upper body his entire fucking life. He's never worn a suit that didn't drape over his belly butt. So that, and I understand, you're immediately going, hey, Hal, that doesn't seem like even remotely possible even when he was young. And so therefore it's embarrassing. So it's so embarrassing that the fact that he's holding a lightning bolt is just kind of dumb by comparison. It's just kind of, you ignore the fucking lightning bolt because we've stopped at, yeah, physically, he's always been in shit shape. Now, the other thing, of course, it's nice that he and Melania are suddenly the same height. Cool. You'll also notice that is just somebody else's jaw entirely. That is just, that doesn't even, I'm fairly certain that's Buzz Aldrin from the nose to the jaw. That's hilarious. And I don't know why his ear is kind of sliding up in it. No one knows. But it looks like a chin tuck that just went wrong and took some of the bone with it. We don't know. Of course, the salute is a bit odd, but they had to modify it to bring his elbow in so that it would fit on the picture. Otherwise, it would be too far away. And if his face isn't really close up in the picture, the maggots can't fap to it. So, because I think they have one of the editors from Hustler magazine worked on all of these and like, it's not a Trump picture unless maggots can fap to it. You know, that kind of thing. And then, of course, the riding the jumping horse with a flag that says never surrender. And it says, I stand with Trump on the bottom of this. And I got to say, the jumping horse, it looks like he's a grown man on a carousel. It looks like somebody put Trump on it. Like, I'm a pony rider, right? So, and hey, don't pass this up. This is your chance to buy a Trump digital trading card mugshot edition for only $99. Series 1 and 2 sold out in hours because, it's money laundering and nobody actually fucking bought them. Yeah, a merry-go-round. He's just like, wee, I'm riding on a cardboard horse. Don't miss out on it, the mugshot edition. It's only $99, but okay. Subject to terms and conditions here. One of one collectible components may include a digital signature, unique coloring, or other unique component. Unique coloring. The one of ones will be the ones that were, I suppose, they just go, his tie's blue in that one. And I know what you're thinking too. Hal, these certainly must be. You lead with your goofiest, craziest bullshit. One would think, oh no, it gets better. Just like life when you grow up as an outsider kid. Eventually, there's a cyborg Trump with one blue eye, like he's fucking. He's got his Trumpo vision that allows him to see only through women's clothing and not through men's clothing because that would be gay. So as the I would love to have X-ray vision as long as, oh my God, Cox. Oh my God. Oh God. Can I only have it with women who I find attractive and who have said no to me? That's the only, right. This, and I know you're thinking, why is he wearing armor with like a herringbone suit and a shield that says 47 when he was the 45th president? Uh-huh. Oh, it gets better. And I guess 2 giant broom handles sticking out of his shoulders, because at what point does it just, is the handle so big it stops being a sword and becomes a shovel? That's what I want to know. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I don't like if you, point of order, Mr. Chairman. Where are the blades? How big are they? This big? The little. It's actually a pair of clippers. He's just got he pulls them out and it's just like snip, stunk, puts them back in. Okay. Then there's this weird one with a regular picture of him with a fake cowboy hat on, because he doesn't like cowboy hats, so somebody else did it. And this says MAGA country, and it's a bunch of horses running in the snow. And then this is him sitting on Lincoln's lap, I guess. Because he's going to, when he gets his statue, it's going to be exactly like Lincoln's, and it's going to be in color, and he'll be sitting on a statue of Lincoln that has a boner, apparently, so he doesn't slip off. I mean, you don't want to, right? You don't want to slide off. It's limited time. Buy 47 of these motherfuckers, or more, obviously, in a single transaction. So don't try this. This layaway bullshit, you maggots. You can't collect them over time, okay? One fell swoop. Dump your cash, $5,000, and you will get both a piece of the president's actual suit from his famous mugshot, a piece of it. No, I'm guessing Band-Aid size strip, but can you specify? Because obviously somebody's going to go, I got dibs on the ass, right? And dinner at Mar-a-Lago with the president, where I guess he will, but you got to get there yourself, I guess. We'll see. It's only going to cost you $5,000 and your own plane ticket and whatever. Get the suit that everyone's talking about. Well, a piece of it, and nobody's talking about it. They all look like his other fucking suits. Yeah. And dinner with the president. Yeah, you'd have to get Joe Biden to come down there first, though. I don't know how they're going to arrange that. I don't know. Dinner at Mar-a-Lago with the president. Actually, well, the former president, obviously, is the mugshot, but the dinner is with Biden, I think. Get the suit that everyone's talking about. A piece of Trump's actual mugshot suit will be on your physical card, shipped directly to you. Really? You can't just pick it up at the dinner? You're not going to, can I just get it from him? How about I just walk up to him and he just tears off a chunk of his fucking suit and hands it to me? That's good. Thursday, he was formally arrested, blah, blah, blah. There's the piece of the suit. Look at that. They're going to cut this piece out. Fuck me. This is so bad. Somebody likes the Lincoln lap dance picture. He licks it and sticks it. So it's that one piece. Okay. Now, here's the thing. President Trump, August 24th, arriving in Atlanta for his mugshot. First ever mugshot of a U.S. president. Yeah, that's a great collector's item, dickhead. 25 cards will be hand-signed by the president. So they're not expecting like a huge turnout, obviously. 10 of them are already, the Koch brothers or whatever will already have. Okay. Mugshot suit was authenticated by Mears, one of the largest authenticators in sports memorabilia. They called the mugshot suit the most historically significant artifact in United States history. Were they on PCP at the time? I mean, you do realize they have like Lincoln's hat from when he was assassinated and shit like that, right? That will probably be sold. I don't know if the code suit and tie worn president was the most. That's just shitty graphics all of a sudden. Evaluated by Troy R. Cununion, Mears president CEO, December 3rd, 2023. This just happened. There it is. Suit and tie worn when the president was arrested. Value priceless. Although slices of it are easily priced. Also, get the dinner. Have dinner with the former president at Mar-a-Lago. This is not him, by the way. And also, will he be between you and your date? I don't understand. Also, what is this painting of? Is it one of his lit farts? What's it like at Mar-a-Lago, the president's residence and exclusive club? It's not that exclusive. Also, residence. Notice this motherfucker just doesn't have a home. Our first, say what you will, but Trump is our first homeless president. Dude, motherfucker is going to be couch surfing until he goes to jail. He looks like Alec Baldwin. He looks like young Alec Baldwin. Like, I wish I had looked as good as Alec Baldwin looked. You know how old Alec Baldwin had to get before he could even jokingly play me? You'll find out as an invited guest to this extraordinary dinner at the president's home. They're all home. Yeah. In Palm Beach, Florida. Mar-a-Lago. There's where it's going to happen. Look at the chandeliers. Dub the winner White House. Okay. Bonus offer. Buy 47 of these NFTs. You'll get all this. Have dinner with him at Mar-a-Lago. There's the picture of him. You're invited. Get a limited physical trading card with a piece of the president's suit from the mugshot. Only 2,024 available with different rarities. Some are autographed, ship free. So they've decided it will cut up exactly into 2,024 pieces. That's Jesus Christ. He does realize we can do the math eventually. And if we see one of these things and know how big it is, we'll know how fat this fucker is. They know this, right? Limited commemorative dinner NFT card. Artist Clark Mitchell signed poster, commemorative hoodie. A hoodie? Presidential pen, exclusive treasures given out at the gala dinner. Get 47 digital trading cards. Okay, now let's see what the legal shit is. Get the official dinner. Okay, some are autographed. Don't miss out. Subject to terms and conditions here. We'll take a look at those in just a moment, shall we? Digital trading card NFTs are intended as collectible items for all Trump digital trading cards, mugshot edition. Be part of the Trump community. NFT buyers using crypto. You'll get all of this if you use crypto because it's untraceable. That's what we want. This is for our non-English speaking friends. Many of whom have yachts that have been seized by the EU. Get a one of one digital. There you go. There are 2 VIP tickets for you and your friend to join him at the thing. You'll sit at the VIP tables if you use crypto. Exclusive invite. What the fuck for? Is this just Trump betting against the US dollar? What an asshole. Get 2 limited edition physical trading cards. Only 225 will be available with these different rarities. That's the ones that different color because the printing was shit. Subject to terms and conditions here. Okay, let me do a little click right here. Open that link in a new tab. We'll get to that in just a second. Non-transferable, you're goddamn right. Only one valid transaction per purchaser. We are a community of collectors. All Trump digital trading cards, mugshot edition, are non-transferable until December 31st, 2024. Be part of the Trump community. You have to hang onto it till the end of the year. Then sell away. Yeah, I thought he was a billionaire too, Georgina said. No one ever. Quantities are very limited to 2,024 Band-Aid size slips of blue fabric. Honey, fuck, God damn it. Oh, God. What the fuck? My eyes are watering. What is that smell? It's the what? It's the piece of Trump cloth? Oh, God damn it. I don't know. What do you mean you tried to burn it and it wouldn't burn? Oh, Jesus Christ. The fuck is that? Ah, it's like gasoline ass. Fucking hell. Put it, no, put it out there with the Ted Nugent memorabilia. It'll kind of cancel each other out like like two loud sound waves crisscrossing. It creates silence. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna vomit. Don't miss out this time. And this is his quote. The people that are buying these Trump digital trading cards are new friends of mine more than anything else. That's right. If you buy them, you're a friend. New friends of mine. He had to put new because the assumption is that from these people, like, I'm going to be his friend, but also the people that are really buying them are his actual, like, are people who know him already. I wouldn't call them real friends. He has transactional relationships with some fuckers. So he's like, the people that bought these trading cards are friends of mine more than anything else. More than anything else, people I know. How it works, God, I don't know. Store your Trump card. Only takes 1 minute to sign up. All you need is a valid email address. That's right. This is not just a giant email collection effort. Buy them. That's step 2. That's number 2.
I like fighting number 2.
That's right. Select how many Trump digital trading cards you'd like and check out with a credit card. It's fast and easy. Or if you prefer to pay with crypto, no problem. Pay with ETH during checkout. Step 3, receive your cards. And by receive, we mean look at them on your phone or something, where other people could see screen grabs of them and therefore are equal. But these are yours, like digitally, like forever. Yeah. Once you successfully check out, your Trump digital trading cards will be minted and delivered to your digital wallet. Minted, are they? They're minted? Really? In the Digimint? In the Space Mint? Where the fuck are they minted? In like one of the buildings in the movie Tron? Minted. They're minted. Fuck me. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being this big of a fucking sap? Simply log into your wallet with your email address to see which cards you've received. Wait, you can't even pick which one you want? You just get a rando? Fuck that. Like, can you imagine, like, you're all excited for Cyborg Trump and you get Cowboy Trump and you're like, God damn it. That looks like the hat my ex wore, and I still got a restraining order against him. All right, when you buy 47 cards or more, you will also get your physical card with a piece of the suit. And if you buy 100 cards, one physical card with a piece of the suit and one physical card with a piece of the suit and tie. Oh, fuck me. Why would you bury that? Buy 100 cards and you get a piece of the fucking tie? Why didn't you lead with that? My God. You get a piece of suit and a piece of tie? No, yeah. Past dinner attendees share their unforgettable moments. Unforgettable. The stench is with me. All right. We just, that's his memory. Wait. They said, and then it's a quote from him. We just had our first dinner for our collectors, and we had a lot of fun together. That was a great evening, and I met some fantastic people whose names I don't remember at all. Here's me with this hot blonde chick, Martha N. from Ireland. Mar-a-Lago was even better than I could have imagined. The food was exquisite. The president was so gracious to take a picture with me. Thank you, collecttrumpcards.com. It wasn't gracious. It's like paying for a cameo. He has to do it. Ireland. Oh boy. S. Poon. What kind of name is Poon anyways? Comanche Indian. Bye. An unforgettable night at the hashtag Collect Trump Cards VIP gala dinner at Mar-a-Lago, and I even got to stick my middle finger in the hole in his face. Why isn't this one of the pictures? Come on. Why not? Why isn't this How is this not one of the pictures? Yeah, her name is Spoon. Quit it. Look at him. He's like, oh God. We flew from Singapore with my wife, and it was worth every moment from the grandeur, parentheses, Mar-a-Lago, to the inspiring conversations. Every detail was perfect. The highlight, selfie with President Trump himself. So you had more than one, and this is the one you decided to show? Did he just poke himself on your fucking fingernail? I want that NFT. I want that. Where's that one? Seriously. And why I want that, but wearing the armor. Can we make that? Can I just ask AI for that? He looks so excited to meet the two of you. And it was nice of him to go, hey, you're blurry in that picture. Let's take another one so both you and your wife can be in it. Instead of going, fuck it, I'm out. This is Dylan likes his pictures from far away. Sorry, his name is Dylan, and Dylan, because I spit hot fire. Dylan G from it was a trip of a lifetime to Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for making it possible. I obviously could not appear in a picture because of my status in the witness relocation program as somebody who turned on the Gaudis, but still has a varying level of skill that might be, I don't know, useful in the future to someone such as yourself, Mr. Ex-President, if I may, and I think that I can. All right. Thank you for the atmosphere, the conversations, and of course, meeting President Trump. It was all so intimate and so inspiring. Truly a night. I mean, this, let me tell you, people are like, intimate? How intimate? I'll tell you how intimate.
Drop your shorts and bend over, Mr. Barr.
You're goddamn right. You should. I got the spoon with Boone. It was fun. And then
Moon River.
Whew. John G. Who is John Galt? We don't know. Hey, I came to see President Trump. Wow! The whole gala dinner at Mar-a-Lago was like a dream come true. Except I wasn't, naked and late for an exam in high school and standing there in front of most of the church choir while they told me that mushrooms are poisonous and all laughed as I didn't get the joke. It's not that kind of dream. The other kind of dream. I love the president's amazing story about Air Force One. Oh, do tell. You mean the one about the paint job he wanted to do that literally would have caused the fucking plane to overheat and they had to redesign it? Because he has no idea about any of the technical needs of aviation or any of the concerns you might have about a pressurized plane or altitude or any of that shit. Because regulations are for assholes. Right. Jumo G didn't get Jumo G. People call me Jumo. I'm from Australia. I'm one of the majority of people that came to this dinner. Obviously can't vote for the president, and therefore, but I got a great story out of it. Attending the gala dinner was awesome. Being with President Trump sexually, I'm kidding, but it was. Hearing his stories firsthand, because I'd fucking heard them all before, but it was nice, like, oh shit, yeah, he rambles on same shit every time. Yeah, so I thought he just said they were like close stories that are different than the ones he tells at his rallies. Nah, same shit. Doesn't matter where you are. But it's great. Got to hear him, because his stories like land different when bits of his spittle are landing on your cheek, and of course his breath, I had to clean my glasses twice. I was like, man, I can't see. And then I realized it was eating the coating off the glass. I had to come back later in a welding helmet so he could finish the story. it's something I'll never forget. Unlike Trump, who, if I walked up to him, he'd sick the Secret Service on me. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, because I wouldn't do it again. I will share with my kids one day, because I don't have any, because oddly enough, women aren't lining up to marry an Australian who would spend thousands of dollars to have Donald Trump tell them the same shit story he tells on fucking podcasts and at his rallies. Yeah, the chicks don't dig it for whatever reason. Alan from Florida. Black trumpet mushrooms with Trump wine poured all over it. I asked for it on the side, but they didn't give that to me. I came alone. No shit. Really? You get a +1. Nobody. You couldn't find anybody who wanted to go to this shit. And you're in fucking Florida? I came alone. Oh, God. Did anyone invent these things? My fucking God. Oh, shit. Oh, God. I came alone and felt very comfortable. Good for you, Alan. I loved this event with my president. Honestly, I was a bit skeptical. Oh, God. Honestly, I was a bit skeptical. But this so exceeded my expectations. Your skeptical expectations, your expectation that it would be shit was exceeded by it just baseline not being shit. Oh, fuck, I can't read the next line. I can't do it. Wait. The president called us collectors, part of his family. Collect Trump cards, all run together, is a great community. It was a great night. I can't stop talking about it. To no one. Oh, God. I'm scared to read the rest of these. I'm going to fall over. Al, you guys, chat room is of the belief that Alan is Eric's pseudonym. It's his nom de plume. I can't stop talking about it to all the people that... What do you say to them? Please tell me you say you had to be there. Okay. All right. Okay. It's gonna be rough. Shit. Carl E. from Estonia. I flew in from Estonia for dinner at Mar-a-Lago to meet President Trump. So happy. I flew straight from Estonia to meet with President Trump. So happy. So happy. I can't. So happy. Because I'm 4 feet away from Exitor, which is 8 feet from bathroom, which is full of classified documents. I take them back to Estonia, smuggle them into Mother Russia, and so happy. Attend the next gala dinner. No. No. No, I'm not going because up until this moment, I thought that busting a gut was like a euphemism. But I honestly think if I was at this thing, I would laugh myself to death. No, I'm not spending fucking $5,000 on this dickhead shit so I can go to this. I swear to God. And they'll kick me out. They won't refund my money, but they'll find some way to not let me in. Secret Service will have to scan my shit. And even though I am soundly and profoundly against any political violence in any form, they'll find some way to like edit something together to get me. No. This is a long fucking website, by the way. This is your last chance to buy a Trump digital trading card mugshot edition for only $99. Yeah, because yes, because December 31st, when people can resell them, the price will go down. So this is the most you'll ever get to spell. Oh yeah, I'd have to. They'd pat me down and they'd find this thing. But you know why they would find this thing? Because I'd smuggle this fucker in my pocket. While he's talking. You are collectors, part of my family. All right. Oh no. Start collecting today before we sell out. I think you've already sold out, but without selling out. Limited supply, act now. Yeah, there's not a limited supply. It's fucking digital. There's literally an unlimited supply. Seriously, the minute you post them, people have them. Anybody sees them online. You can't even share them without someone stealing them because they're all digital. This is just dumb. NFTs are bullshit. You're a lunatic. Okay. I know it's supposed to look like he's winking. And I know that there are limitations with AI. And I know he's got, like, hitchhiker thumb. I have hitchhiker thumb. I don't know if Trump actually has hitchhiker thumb. Does anybody else have hitchhiker thumb? I do. My thumbs go all the way back like that. Yeah, he looks like he's been poked in the fucking eye. He does not at all. Hal Rothschild, that's right. I'm a Rothschild. You must let me in. You've got to let me in. I'm Rothschild. Yes, darling. I'd have to, let's see. Hold on. Let's see. I've got to find something like this. Let's see if this will do it. No, let's see. No, that won't work. See if I can. Whoops, that's not going to work at all. Let's go with, yeah, maybe this one. Let's see. No, it won't work. Yeah, this should work. Hold on. Hello, I'm Rothschild. I am Alexa Rothschild of the Rothschilds. I'm the third contiguous biological cousin of the adopted uber rich grandson of Heinrich Rothschild, who was himself, if you're not familiar, a Rothschild. That's my rented SUV in the parking lot. Please be careful with it. It's worth $170,000 to the rental company. Me, it's $600 a day, but it got me in this dump, didn't it? Oh, hello. I'm here for my picture. My picture with Donald Yes. Is he available for pictures after this? Perhaps not. Perhaps he's unavailable. Well, you'll make him available, and you'll make him available immediatement. Yes? You try. Oh. That's just weird. That's much better. Thank you very much. I'm here. I'm looking for Alan. Sorry. He's here. He's by. I told him I'd think about it, and then he drove off in a huff, and I was like, Alan, wait. And he was all mad, and I, I got an Uber, and I came over, and he's got a +1. Just look on there, Alan +1. That's what it'll say. He never gives his last name because he's depressed. Epstein. Yeah. It's not his real last name. He changed it. Yeah, to make it, more socially acceptable. Used to be Hitler. Anyways, Al, yes, there I am. Yeah, I'm his +1. It's fantastic. Yeah, he had this Australian guy he wanted me to meet. Where is there a place I can hang my shawl or? All right, I guess we can do this. Join his community, play frequently asked questions. If I'm outside the United States, can I still purchase Trump digital trading cards? Are you kidding? You're our primary audience. What is a Trump digital trading card? Please, if I click on this, please let it be a video of Trump explaining this shit. Now you can celebrate the life and career. Hold on. Now you can celebrate the life and career of President Donald Trump through the official digital trading card collection. Some people call these NFTs. Non-fungible tokens, which sounds like it's something that gets on your feet when you walk barefoot in the subway, but it's not. I promise. I think I'm pretty sure, because each Trump digital trading card has a unique identifier that cannot be copied, unlike the actual image itself, which obviously can be endlessly copied. But the little number, the one you can't technically see with your eyes because it's in the metadata. Think of it as, all that stuff that isn't in the Hunter Biden laptop materials? Yeah, it's in this stuff. But no one cares. It's the irony. Sorry, everybody in the chat room's wanting me to do this. On the day I went away, said all I had to say. I want to come again and stay. All right. It's recorded on a blockchain and can be used to certify authenticity as well as ownership. But essentially, I don't understand any of that. Well, essentially, these are personal digital collectibles, or trading cards if you're old, that you can collect, accumulate, yes, with all your other junk, etc. Think of them like traditional baseball or basketball cards, but stored digitally, so you never have to worry about physical damage. And therefore, there will never be ones that are worth more, and therefore there's no market for these fucking things. Because that's the whole point of a trading card, is that there were lots of them, but a lot of them get damaged, and so having ones that are still in good shape is what drives the fucking price up. Anyways, Series 1 of the Trump digital trading cards was released December 2022 with 45,000 cards in the collection. Series 2 was released in April 2023 with 47,000 cards. The Mugshot edition was released in 2023 with 100,000 cards in the collection. Feel dumb yet? What is unique about the Trump digital trading cards Mugshot edition? The scowl, I guess? That it's actually the only one with his real fucking face in it? How much did they cost? Can I buy Trump digital trading cards with my credit card? Of course you can, dear. Of course you can. Yes, of course. Can I buy Trump digital trading cards with cryptocurrency? We prefer it, especially if you're a Saudi. Why do I need a crypto wallet to purchase Trump digital trading cards? because that's where they'll be stored, which is weird. So think about it like if you had a digital condom in your digital wallet that had been sitting there because you've never been digitally fucked before. Well, now you are. Sorry. Show more. Still have questions? Yes, I do. Terms and conditions. NFT LLC is not owned, managed, or controlled by Donald Trump. The Trump Organization, CIC Digital, or any other respective uses Donald Trump's name, likeness, and image under paid license from CIC Digital LLC, which license may be terminated or revoked according to its term. So Trump could just decide he's sick of these fucking dinners, and you guys are stuck with your dumbass cards, and they're not worth it. A fuck. These digital currencies are not political and have nothing to do with any political campaign. Well, no, of course not. The money he's raising is to pay his legal fees and his rent and or whatever. Now, let's look at this real quick. Terms and conditions, Series 3. They just modified them again. Let's see. Contains disclaimers, warranties, limitations, class action waiver. But you agree to the terms and conditions entirety when you access the website. You agree to the terms and conditions in its entirety when you, A, access or use the website. Jesus Christ, I have agreed to these terms and conditions by literally typing in the URL. Fuck you. That's amazing. That is all right. But please tell me again about the deep state plans to whatever. Oh my God. Please review these terms and requirements. Generally, the offerings are available only to individuals who can enter into a legally binding contract. Generally, you have to be 18, but maybe not. I don't give a shit. Offerings are not intended for use by individuals under 18 years of age. If greater than 18 years of age in respective jurisdictions, if you're under 18 and the applicable age of majority is if greater than 18, and or if you're unable to enter into legally binding contract or you're prohibited party defined below, you do not have permission to use it. If you're under 18, but everyone has died except people under the age of 18, you can still sell these things. Prohibited users. There's a denied persons list by the Bureau of Industry and Security. Residents and citizens, entities located in or incorporated under the laws of the country, territory, government as a terrorist. You can't buy them, including without limitation. The Balkans, Belarus, Burma, China, the Ivory Coast. I love how they're like Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. In case you're there and you're like, it can't possibly be talking about me. Cuba, Congo, Iran, Iraq, Liberia. Libya's fine. If you're in Libya, you're okay. You can buy Trump collectibles. North Korea, Russia, Sudan, Syria, Zimbabwe, and the Crimea, Luhansk, and Donetsk regions of Ukraine, collectively a prohibited users. Well, that's fucked up. Look at that. You can't even, in the seized territories where they'd be the most popular? What are the Russian soldiers trapped in the trenches in the Donetsk going to wipe their ass with if they can't print out copies of their own special Trump mugshot card? You assume all the risks associated with this using an internet-based cryptocurrency blockchain, including but not limited to the risk of hardware, software, and internet connections, the risk of malicious software introduction, and the risk of third parties may obtain unauthorized access to information stored on the blockchain or within your wallet. NFTs, cryptocurrencies, and blockchain technology are relatively new in the regulatory landscape. I love that. The regulatory landscape is unsettled. New regulation or new interpretations of existing regulations in areas of securities, commodities, futures, banking, finance, currencies, trade, and consumer rights in one or more jurisdictions could substantially affect the value of the offerings, as well as your rights to access, control, buy, sell, or trade the offerings. New regulations in okay, yeah. So like this, we don't know what any of this fucking garbage is, and it might be worth dick tomorrow, and it's not our fault. It's your fault, dum-dum. So get them today, ladies and gentlemen. Like Estonia, yes, and the spoon, and the hot lady from Ireland that wouldn't talk to me. Yeah, that's what you do. Just follow the instructions, and you too can have this on your fucking phone to show people to prove that you are an asshole. You're watching Hal Sparks, Megaworldwide. Like, subscribe, share the show, send it out. Look, if there's 10,000 people, or I guess 50,000 people that would buy these fucking cards, we got to be able to hit 100,000. Please prove to me that there are people who are sensible in the world by subscribing to the channel, liking the stream, because for fuck's sake. Now, granted, there's no such thing as like a subscription laundering, I guess. No, that's not true. Like likes laundering, I guess, would be the thing. Subscriptions laundering, there absolutely is. You know, a good portion of our competition here on the interwebs purchase not only the base of their subscribers, but also their viewer numbers. And you can tell when they forget to, because their numbers drop and then they pop back up. But it's not like the content changed. So, you know, maybe the Indian watch farms were offline for a while. But in the meantime, what is it? Hold on. I don't know. Sorry, you guys are lopsided. You should. Yeah, there you go. Oh, I gotta say that was the hardest laugh I have had in a while, and I want to thank Trump for being such an asshole, and his followers equally being assholes. And I'd also like to thank whoever photoshopped a bullshit version of his hair and eyebrows on what I think is the bottom of Vin Diesel's face. But we don't know. Whew. I'm all right. I'll be okay. Now, we got real news to get to, kinda. Can we well, let's hold on. Let's go to kind of like a live gathering. Now, this is going to be one of those videos, if I may. You're wearing the NFT shirt? Yay! Yes, we do have NFT shirts that I sell, if I may. See if I can bring this up on let's see. We're in the thing and you start the do. Jumping in here. Quit it. Go down to here. It should be okay. Go to my store. I'll show you this real quick. Go to the stores. There we are. Here you go. Don't you know? And view store. There we go. This should be easier to get to, quicker, I would think. But I have a series of available items that are pretty fun at the House Parks Bazaar. The Zoltan shirts, which I drew myself, and you can tell because they're not that great of a drawing, but I think my little mini continuum transfunctioner, which is just below that lady's right nipple, which is awkward, but it's right there, and then the 01 with a the Mason code underneath it, by the way, but I'm not going to tell you what it is unless you meet me in person and you ask. I made a joke about having a shirt like this in high school because I thought this would all guys my age should have a shirt like that. And it doesn't flash like that. I don't know why it's flashing. It should. That would be great. But I designed this myself because I was like, we need a shirt that says that, guys. So there it is. I suppose, ladies, it applies to you. I'm not being sexist. I'm just knowing what my limits are. There's also this for you can wear this with if you have a relative who comes to dinner and is kind of annoying. I was like, why isn't that shirt available? That seems pretty right. Okay. Then okay. This is one of the sorry. Why is this here? This is one of the Sparksisms, which is I don't have to love what you love to love that you love it. That's why we don't yuck anybody's yum. So that's, you know, part of the deal there. And then there's a Nerd Halen shirt right there. Myriad of colors. Thanks to one of our, is she in the chat? Do you want to pipe up in the chat? I sang some Rush randomly on the show. And one of our lovely sparklers wrote this in the chat. So I made this shirt. Yeah. Your Getty scared my cat, which I'm very proud of. This is this is my think tank, by the way. That's the think tank. Huh? A little more. And then I don't know why where are the NFTs? They gotta be like down here in there's the Choose Less Evil shirt. Where's my NFT shirts? They got it like I have so many of these designs and they're no particular order on this fucking thing. There they are, ladies and gentlemen, the NFTs. There you are. Get yourself an NFT, an actual t-shirt that you can actually hold in your actual hands. It says NF on them. And they are technically limited because this website won't be around forever and they won't be for sale or whatever. But there's NFTs of all different shapes and sizes and colors and that kind of stuff. And they're simple ones and strange ones and whatever. But these are all NFTs. And yes. Oh, the gray one's a nice touch. The gray with the orange writing, I was very proud of that one. I was like trying to make these simple so they wouldn't drive the price up on this site. Because there's, you know. But there you go. And I like the dark one there because it's kind of hidden. But whatever. Anyways, do a V-neck? I think we do have a V-neck. Yeah. Where is it? You bastard. It's in there. There's a V-neck in there. I know it. There's the deep ladies V-neck. And then there's and then oh no. It's going to drive me crazy. Yeah, there's one in there. There's the 5 egg shirt. There's the symbol. There's lots of stuff. Anyways, so enough sales. I suck at sales, so let's just move on. If I may, let's go. Now, where were we? Oh yeah, this is yeah, okay. Doink. Go back to this whole thing. Back up. Yeah, here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Jim Jordan, who is dopey and ridiculous. This looks like a video from before because they all dress the same, but this is actually them kind of, I guess, let's see. Spawn a hunter saying fire interaction with reporter. Oh no, this is, yeah. This is the Blaze replaying it. Yeah, okay, sorry. We'll jump ahead. That's one of the, okay. Let's get to the really stupid people and there's a thin line because there's Roseanne right here. Well, this one's short. We'll do this. Comedian and icon Roseanne. Let's see what she has to say. This is only 1 minute 45 seconds. They get out of her entire talk. RAV could only come up with 1 minute 45 that they could stand or release. So here it is.
People should know the facts about the war we're in because we are in a war.
Yeah, we are totally in a war. It's our forces on the ground in Gaza, and it's our forces on the ground in Ukraine, I guess. Or do you mean just you're battling reality?
And I say, and it is a religious war.
Oh, I see. It's a religious war. So yeah. And it is it the faux Christians against the real Christians? Is that what it is?
That's when we were down at your home and we did the podcast.
Yeah, that felt like a religious war. It was kind of, like just you in the kitchen sounded like a Mongol invasion.
That's what we talked about. And we talked about how there's people who don't see the spiritual aspect of these things.
Yeah, I don't know why they can't see the spiritual. You know what I mean? Like, it's right there. There's a ghost right over your shoulder. Why can't you see them? Huh? Oh my God, okay. I thought he was going to grab you, but then I realized his hands don't actually touch you. Never mind.
And I think they're missing a huge piece of what's going on.
Yeah, they're missing, oh my God, they're in hell. It's good quality video. Maybe that's why it's only 1 minute 45 seconds, because it's a haunted video.
And they say, oh, it's ideological or...
Yeah, it's ideological, but it's it's ideas. It's more the ideas than the ghosts. Because we're all in many ways at war with the kidney. No one believes me. Sorry, I went insane just for a second.
It's financial and
yeah, it's ideological, it's financial, but it really is like spiritual. And if you don't believe me, give your money to a televangelist and see how fast it becomes invisible.
Sure, there's ideological and financial aspects, I believe.
Yeah, but aspects of it, kind of like there's the Son and the Holy Ghost, but we're really talking about
at its deepest root.
Yeah, totally. Way down. All right.
At the deepest root, it's a spiritual war.
It is at the root of the basis of the, at the under part of the basement of the thing. Yeah.
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 I think it's a religious war.
Okay, so not spiritual. It's not a spiritual war. It's a religious war. So it doesn't. You're literally just talking like Catholics versus Protestants or Islam and that kind of stuff. Is that what you're talking about? Like Christians against the rest of the world or some shit?
Not just spiritual.
So-
Yeah, dumbass. Just spiritual. Pff, fuck off.
Walk me through that. What's going on?
Yeah. That's the polite way to say to your guest, I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. What?
I think that,
See, you got evil
See
spirits coming at my microphone right now.
Yeah, you don't joke with her about that. Don't. She is not gonna. Your mic fell over, and obviously that was Satan.
Yeah,
The way they targeted your laptop.
I think that, I think that there is a devil, and I do think he's declaring war on humanity.
Oh.
Yes.
That's what I really think.
And do you believe?
Wait, hold on. He is declaring, or he has declared. Hasn't? I'm just saying. I mean, I'm no real history buff, but I presume this has been a war between, I guess, God and the devil over humanity. I think it just predates 2015 is my point. Does that fit everybody else's timeline? I just don't think it's a new thing. I'd have to look it up, but it's not by any chance.
Well, now that you bring it up, it sort of works in phases, if you know what I mean. You know, like there's like chapter 1, which was about how long? 5 and 8/16. No, 8/12. Yeah, something like that. That was phase 1. Phase 2, about 2,000 years, and then I'm doing the new thing now. Because I'm on the TikTok and the kids love me and that kind of stuff, and I'm behind. I got a lot of stuff going. I got a lot of stuff rolling right now. I got a lot of stuff rolling. Who the fuck's in this chat room? No, I'm not fucking Krampus. Krampus. What the fuck?
That, and the Bible says this, that the devil is working through certain individuals.
Yeah, both of you, for example.
Certain institutions.
Yeah, like Human Events with Jack Prosobiec or something like that. Like institutions like that, like Real America's Voice or
to push his will in reality, in the real world.
Yeah, but he's...
Wait a minute. Real world? Real world? You don't think the world of God, the devil, and angels is real? If the greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing the world he doesn't exist is true, then you're part of the problem, motherfucker, because you're playing that game, okay?
He's working with everything. When you said...
Well, I mean, he's got to have... That's the thing about, God made everything, so the devil's got to be like, oh, fuck, I got to create evil in this new thing now? Jesus Christ. I wasn't even thinking about that before, and now there's... God's always coming up with stuff, and I got to chase that shit down. I'm making evil platypi, and then that turned out to be just he's just baiting me.
Well, it's not just financial, it's not just cultural, it's every single thing you can think of.
Yeah, that must be exhausting.
The human being is being bombarded by false information 24/7, and how?
How did I end up here? How did I end up talking to a crazy lady at the mall who just came to me in the form of someone who was famous and is riding that fame into cloud cuckoo land. How did my life get so stupid? How did I end up asking this woman a question that made her talk more when I'm trying to do exactly the opposite? Is there a way I could make her feel heard and then shut the fuck up? No. And why is that? Because of the devil.
Are you to make the righteous
Are you to make the righteous? Why is there new wave early 80s music playing underneath this? What is this? Honest to God. Hold on. I kind of need to save this for later. 1 second. Yeah, I think this one's better actually. Give me 1 second. Ooh, those are nice. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by my own comedic bullshit now. Give me 1 second. Is this even fucking? Yeah. Please. Everything. Doesn't quite work. It's not quite good enough, I don't think, or whatever. I think maybe this will be better. Yeah, this is better. Hold on. Anyways, you were saying, yeah. So I don't know about this devil bullshit, but I think they're being a little silly, and oh fuck, my horns are showing. I'm fine. So why? Where were we? Oh yes, why there's this music? They're literally like flock of seagulls is playing this dizzy asshole off.
just
Why won't you go away? Stop saying this crazy bullshit every day. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, down, 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 down. You want me, make me wanna gouge my eyes out. Don't, 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 don't. Don't, 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 don't. Devil music. Don't, don't, don't. All right. It's a space age love song. Oh, yeah. I don't know why you're just still talking. I wanna go away now.
When you said, well, it's not just financial, it's not just cultural, it's not just, it's every single thing you can think of.
Every single thing you can think of is driving me insane. But it's not a long drive because I'm already crazy. I'm fucking out of my mind. And I smell like patchouli and ass. Please let me go. All right. I smell like Hawaiian leftover food. All right. Don't. Don't. Now I want to write songs. Fuck me. Always. It always gets me. I smell like poi. Can you tell? From upwind. I smell like poi. You're always downwind from me. All right. All right. Sorry. It's aha. Right. You're crazy. You're crazy. You are nuts. You are nuts. I must go out of this, please. One of my balls flies out. Great. All right. Ding, 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 ding. You nutty fucker. All right. Hal, you seen the Roseanne Barr sex tapes? Get the fuck. No. Please tell me that's not real. All right, chat room, you're in a timeout. Everybody in the chat room's in a timeout. Who said Roseanne sex tape? Like that's something you could say in pleasant company. I'm not doing any more show until someone comes here with a fucking melon baller and scoops that image out of my head. Just come on, I want some frontier fucking surgery. That's it. I don't care. Crack my dome open with a fucking rubber mallet and or whatever they crack coconuts with. Get in there and scoop that memory out. Throw it on the ground and stitch me up. Oi. Oi. Yeah, this is why we can't have nice things. Not doing it anymore. Not doing it. Show's ground to a screeching halt. You keep that shit up, and we're going to be selling NFTs on this network. It's going to happen. All right. Now. There we go. Get out of here. Get out of here. And we'll go to here. Okay. This is, can I go to this next one? By the way, you're watching Housemarks Megaworldwide. I'll do a show. It's fine. It's fine. All right. You just have to promise me that if you ever come to Vegas, you have to go see my girlfriend's show at the Virgin. Ladylike, go see it. Buy tickets. That's all I'm saying. You must. Just saying. You have to. It's great. It's a great show. It's genuinely great. Deal? Okay, deal. Great. It's fantastic. Okay. Now, you're forgiven. But you just watch yourself. Hal, you can't hit that high note. I totally can. Just don't care to. And by the way, I did hit the high note. That literally is the note. I just got scratchy going up to it because I was fucking around. All right. Now, I got to say, this next one's, we might not do the whole video on this one because what is this? Oh, yeah, this is, we don't get to do this very often, but this is, Harris Faulkner's show, I think. Is that what this is? Yeah. Mark Meredith reports in the latest Fallout Civil Rights Attorney on the Faulkner Focus. Go Faulkner yourself, everybody. I like the title of this one. Trump's rivals blast Colorado ruling. How does that work? Wait a minute. You mean I can beat him without even having to beat him? What the fuck? Why didn't you tell me earlier? I'd have signed on to this shit. You would have saved me so much money and grief. I could have pretended to like him, and he would be kissing my ass right now. What the fuck? I wouldn't have even had to criticize him? Shit.
The Colorado State Supreme Court had better get ready to fight.
Oh, they bet. Oh, well, no, they don't actually have to fight. It's a Supreme Court. There's arguments, certainly, but don't be an asshole.
Kicked Donald Trump off the Republican primary ballot, and the former president says he will fight back.
Yeah, but, I mean, metaphorically. Not actually fighting. Fighting is a dumb word for anything that happens, even in a courtroom. I'm fighting for justice. How? With my evidence and briefs and opening and closing statements. It's not really a fight. Well, it's hard. Yeah, but, are you punching anyone? Are they punching you? Are there weapons involved? Are there shields? I mean, do you really think that, like, when Christians were, when a lion came out in the Colosseum and there was a Christian there, he was like, he filed a brief or wrote a piece of legislation to stop the lion? I'm just saying, it's kind of it's kind of embarrassing. I'm just saying. It's kind of embarrassing.
I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus.
I am? I thought she couldn't see me through the screen. God damn it.
Colorado's highest court claims Donald Trump
and in Colorado, that means that's a triple innuendo. That's because in Colorado it could be, in terms of sea level and also in terms of pot. So it's very high. That might be the highest court in the land technically on a couple of levels.
Violated the 14th Amendment by inciting an insurrection.
Yeah, just play the thing.
That decision is unprecedented.
Well, that's because they've never had to use it before, because we never had a dickhead like him in office.
And it just so happens to fall along party lines.
Well, that's more about how Republicans will, even though Republicans have said, well, the court should work this out and he should be subject to the, the legal system. And, who the Republicans that would refuse to impeach him or have him removed from office or removed from the ability to do it, they left this up to the courts, and the courts have decided or whatever. Republicans said he shouldn't be able to run, but we're not the people to do it. And by the way, they could also undo it.
It's the first.
Notice how he's going to fight this and all this stuff, but the presumption is that he's definitely not going to be able to get 2/3. He wouldn't get. Here's the thing: he wouldn't get all the Republicans. If it was a secret ballot, if the House could vote secret ballot, he would not be able to. He wouldn't get 2/3. He wouldn't get 2/3 of the Republicans.
Time Section 3 of the 14th Amendment has.
Also, is the graphic supposed to be him pointing at Colorado? Or is he trying to stick his finger in the O?
Never been used to disqualify a presidential candidate.
Well, that's because since the Civil War, it really hasn't come up until now because nobody's ever had their followers storm up the steps and beat up police officers. What the fuck are you talking about?
Critics and legal analysts point out Trump has never been charged or convicted
You don't have to be.
of
Have they pointed out that you don't have to be convicted of it?
anything.
Yeah, you don't have to be charged or convicted. You don't. You think there was a court battle for every former Confederate?
In connection with the January 6th Capitol Hill riot. Trump's campaign with this. Democrat Party leaders are in a state of paranoia over the growing dominant lead President Trump has amassed in the polls.
Are in a state of paranoia? Really? Wouldn't it be panic or something? Paranoia is odd. That feels like a borrowed word. Panic is what you're trying to project onto someone, but paranoia sounds like his daily experience with Trump.
Backlash was fast and furious.
It is a strikingly
Oh my God, not Jonathan Turley. If he's decided, oh my gosh, not if Turley says it, well, then obviously.
anti-democratic holding. In my view, the court is dead wrong. This court just
Well, is the amendment right?
handed partisans on both sides the ultimate tool to try to shortcut elections. And it's very, very dangerous. I mean, this country is a powder keg, and this court.
No, it's not. It really fucking isn't. I hear this shit all the time, and Fox wants you to believe it's a fucking powder keg. It ain't. It so fucking isn't. If Trump isn't on the ballot next year, the country is not going to fucking sever and turn into fiefdoms and bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. All the other Republicans will just run to be, I'll really be Trump and I can serve 2 terms and all that shit. That's what they'll run on. Who gives a shit?
Court is just throwing matches at it.
It is
Matches.
terrifying to me.
They're not lit though, so that's the thing. They're flicking matches at it, but the matches aren't lit, so it's okay.
As an American, that this kind of lawfare is being waged.
It's an effort to stop Donald Trump not at the ballot box because right now they don't think they can beat Donald Trump at the ballot.
No, they know they can. It's just he doesn't have the right to run as an insurrectionist. That's the weird part is that this is more about how the Republican Party can't run anybody else that even has a remote chance. That's their fear. If these fuckers had a deep bench at all, this wouldn't be the conversation at all. If they, honest to God, and if they could count on Republican voters to actually show up for anybody but Donald Trump, they'd have moved on way faster.
I read it. It is a couple of 100 pages of hot garbage.
Woo, hot garbage.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, it does entail stories of Trump, so.
Even Trump's Republican rivals support him. Vivek Ramaswamy says he will withdraw from the Colorado primary ballot.
Yeah, that'll do it. Really? You're not going to wait for Republicans to just withdraw you from it anyways?
Unless Trump is.
Yeah, unless you put him on there, I'm not going to lose. Terribly. Yeah, whatever, Mr. 3%.
On it. He called on the other GOP presidential candidates still in the race to do the
You mean the ones that are actually in double digits?
same.
And they were like, no.
And Colorado's Republican Party responded to Ramaswamy. You won't have to, meaning he won't have to withdraw because we will withdraw from the primary as a party and convert to a pure caucus system if this is allowed to stand.
I'm sorry. I just. Oh dear. Not the caucus threat. Oh, so instead of a functioning electoral system that you've had forever, you're just going to get a bunch of people screaming in gymnasiums instead? And you think that's going to work shit out? You do realize that as a Democrat, I think that's hilarious.
In Focus, attorney and Fox News contributor Leo Terrell. We'll begin with Mark Meredith in Ames, Iowa. January 15th is about to get.
And it's hell. Look at Ames, Iowa, man. The whole place is on fire. America is hell. Look at that. You can't go outside without being stabbed.
Get here.
Harris, it sure is. The date is
I can't hear you over the sound of the creaking windmills killing all the birds.
fast approaching, and this morning, former President Trump is getting some support.
And by the way, clearly gas prices are off the roof. That's why that guy can't afford to drive. He has to drive an electric truck.
From his Republican rivals, they're saying...
I think that was an electric Hummer pickup. Fucking $100,000 car rolling by him. America is dying on the vine. Obviously, I'm on Main Street, and nobody used to come down here, and now that you can't find parking. It's terrible. And a guy just drove by me in a $100,000 pickup truck. Runs on electricity, which is both butch and gay and weak and strong at the same time. I don't know how to deal with it. It's like I mean, I want to meet that guy, but I'm scared.
That they too are outraged over this decision by the Colorado Supreme Court that it was...
Get out of the way! A giant whale is going to beach in Iowa from the windmills. Look out!
Essentially keep Trump's name off the ballot in 2024. Former President Trump was here in Iowa just last night. He held a rally in Waterloo. I was a little bit surprised he did not directly mention the Colorado case.
Yeah, that's because he doesn't actually want to be president again. He just doesn't want to go to jail, and he thinks this is running is his only way of stopping that. Seriously.
But during his stump speech, as he's done at these recent rallies,
he stood there like a dickhead while a song played all the way through. like he's some sort of like redneck Mussolini.
Urged his supporters to see his legal matters as an attack against all Republicans.
Right, because that's what like televangelists do when they're caught fucking their secretary, is go, they are trying to destroy Christianity by destroying me. That's right. The devil reaches up and tries to tear us all asunder by specifically tempting us, by making us hire secretaries that put out. And that got a little George W. Bush. I don't know why.
They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're...
In the end of what?
Moon River. They're not after me. They're after you. I just happen to be standing in their way.
Why are the people in Iowa storming the Capitol or sending their followers to storm the Capitol while cowardly watching it in their living room on television going, look at these assholes destroying their lives for me, Marge, darling, right? And there's always a darling story. So they lied about the building in Manhattan that they have that has 10 fewer floors than they said it did. How does the people in Iowa have buildings that they are telling banks have 73 floors when they only have 62? Did they all exhaust all their legal remedies in court and at the ballot box and then try to bully the governor of Georgia into throwing the election for them? Is Dave still dead? Of course he is, Tom. It's going to stay that way. Yeah, the silence is...
The Trump campaign already vowing to appeal this decision. We'll be looking to see who else maybe files an amicus brief and support within the...
Oh, yes. His lawyers will definitely be on this. His crack team of specialty lawyers who are basically just going to scratch off all the slip and fall references in one of their standard filings and then just put in, kicked off a ballot. My client stepped in some water at Walmart and therefore should get compensated with millions of dollars. Hold on one second. Was kicked off the ballot and should be compensated with millions of votes.
Last hour, though, we heard from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. He is the latest among the GOP candidates to weigh in.
There was no trial on any of them.
You're in Urbandale? Urban Forest? Really? Urbandale. All the buildings are made out of trees. We're all Keebler elves here. Welcome to Urbandale.
They basically just said, what, you can't be on the ballot? I mean, how does that work?
It's, I guess you'd have to read the Constitution and the amendments.
The limiting principle for that?
I don't think Donald Trump needs to be president. I think I need to be president. I think that's good for the country. But I will beat him fair and square. We don't need to have judges making these decisions. We need voters to make these decisions.
This case, of course, will go well beyond Colorado. There are more than a dozen states also considering similar legal challenges, trying to keep Trump's name off the ballot. And Harris, just within the...
You know what they can't do? None of these lawsuits can ever keep this awful picture of Trump off the screen at Fox. They're going with this picture forever. Like, it's the only one they could find where he's not orange. His face looks like fucking toilet paper, like a wad of wet toilet paper. And yet they just keep using it because they hate him.
The last few minutes, for the first time, reporters had a chance to get the White House's reaction.
By the way, I'm so glad they have somebody live on the ground in Colorado, Iowa. You can't afford the fucking flight to, what's a flight from Ames, Iowa to Colorado? Obviously you can't. You're not going to fly coach. Well, you might fly Spirit and get one of the big and wide seats. So you're going to, what, $212 round trip?
To what has been happening, the White House was asked whether or not.
Also, besides the electric Hummer we saw drive by earlier, which is obviously, part of the problem and not the solution, is anybody else noticing the gas guzzlers rolling by in the background? Everybody's got some sort of and this is snow truck land, so.
They think Trump should be kept off the ballot if they think he's an insurrectionist. The White House offering a no comment right now. The president hasn't weighed in yet. This was his staff on Air Force One on his way to Wisconsin. But Harris obviously will be looking to see if the president has any specific reaction to this. But the White House
Yeah, he said he's like, I think it's clear he's an insurrectionist, but that's up to the courts to decide whether he should be on there. I got no comment. That's what he said.
Right now saying we're staying out of this.
Look,
Harris,
you're in the place in 26 days, like I.
Yeah. No, he's in Iowa. He's not in Colorado. It's the big one. It's March. That's kind of important, but you shouldn't point out that he's in the wrong state for the story. Just saying.
Started with January 15th, where we're going to see our first primary challenge, the Iowa caucus. It will be interesting to see. Also, you can have him taken off the ballot, but people, because it's a federal office, can still write him in. And if ultimately he's able to, his votes will be able to be counted in theory. So Coloradans who like Trump will just have to write his name in, I guess. Whether or not during that caucusing, people start.
Look out! Potatoes! Look out, you're going to be run over by potatoes! Iowa spuds are coming after you! Get out of the street!
We've seen the president tick up in the polls when there's been pressure on him in any way, shape, or form.
That's what he's doing.
You might say. Good to see you.
Yeah, he can't hold office. That is true. But people can write in Mickey Mouse legally. Yeah. The write-ins will be blocked too, as is true. Yeah. I just want him to do it.
Thank you. Leo Terrell, Fox News contributor, civil rights attorney. Leo, I want to start right there. The president staying pretty mum about this.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to be president.
I know legally you love that. So what should happen?
What? Bullshit. You can't say legally you love that because you got to keep quiet because you don't want to fuck with this whole thing. Meanwhile, he's blabbing every fucking day outside the New York courtroom, and they're like, good on him for pushing back.
Happen next on his behalf.
Yeah, he blathers on and on about his business being fined and maybe having to shut down his business in New York and just, by the way, move the existence of his business to another state like Florida or some shit. Like, get the fuck out of here. But he's there every day. But this comes up, the one thing that could literally make a difference in him being able to be president. And he's like, oh, no, I can't be president? What? Oh, shit.
Well, I'll tell you, Harris, thanks for having me on this subject. We need a profile and courage moment from President Biden, who's a lawyer, and Kamala Harris. This is the most anti-democratic ruling. 4 Democratic judges are telling the citizens of Colorado, you cannot select the candidate of your choice.
Yeah, because you cannot vote for an insurrectionist because that's what the Constitution says.
This is something that is impossible to even imagine. Because
no, it isn't. It's so easy to imagine. They amended the Constitution to fucking add it specifically after the Civil War.
Because President Trump, at least...
You know what's impossible to imagine? The federal government quartering soldiers in your house. And yet, it's such a possibility that they had to write an amendment that says you can't. You can't assign a soldier to live in my house. You can't do it. Right? That's they imagined that happening too.
He's understanding the law is not guilty of any charge.
You don't have to be guilty of a charge. You just have to participate in this. And I got news for you. That's because after the Civil War, they literally backed off and said, okay, no harm, no foul. You're still a citizen. But if you had already been an officer in the U.S. government, or you were serving some status in the military or something like that, you can't run again. You can't do it if you already swore an oath. It's a pretty narrow group of people.
Under the impression you're...
Honest to God, let me tell you something. If Trump hadn't served his first term already, but had lost the 2015 and pulled this shit off in January of 2017, January 6, 2017, if he'd have done it, he could still run again. Even January 6th being exactly as it was. He holds a rally, because there's a bunch of people who weren't elected to office, holding a rally in Washington, D.C. He managed to stand this whole fucking thing up, and then he tells his people to go down there and attack and all this shit. That motherfucker could still run. He could. Because he hadn't yet sworn an oath. And their argument was not that he didn't do this. It was that I didn't swear an oath to the Constitution. I'm the president. I'm above the Constitution, which is just fucking lunacy.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. That's why there's a secondary remedy. It is up to the Congress, both houses, the House and the Senate, to make that decision. It's not innocent until proven guilty. That is not the fucking stand. Jacob Chansley would be disqualified? Yes, because I think he was in the military previously, right? Anybody who was a police officer or a federal employee or and even, I guess, technically a state office holder who acted out on Jan 6 or whatever, literally. Okay, so Jan 6, 2017, if Trump had done this shit and the same people went, a bunch of those fuckers would not be able to run for federal office because they were in the military, or they were even on a state level. Most like people in state houses swear an oath to the Constitution of the United States and the state constitution. Yes, Trump has the burden of proof that he has to prove he's not an insurrectionist because he swore an oath. It's like perjury. It's much more akin to the law around perjury.
I would submit to you, Harris, and the view.
Because you've already taken the oath. So if you're found to have committed perjury, you can't fight back and go, I wasn't perjuring myself, because it is self-evident in and of itself.
President Trump has not been guilty or been found convicted of a federal crime.
Yeah. A, he will be. And B, you don't have to be. Why the fuck are these people not realizing this? Why, everybody who's talking about this on the Republican side, maybe it's just because they're stupid themselves, or they're just trying to sell this to the base.
And the Supreme Court has to rule not 5-4, Harris, 9-0 to Senate.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Mike Pillow 2.0.
A message to every state in this country that the Constitution prevails and President Trump is a viable candidate on the ballot.
So the argument is also that he hasn't been charged in the rioting on January 6th. So you talk about no conviction on any of the counts against him. This specifically, though, is tied.
I got news for you, asshole. Again, this isn't a random person. This is somebody who was the president of the United States, somebody who's taken an oath, and he has specifically referred to the Jan 6ers that attacked the Capitol, that were found guilty in a court of law of being part of an insurrection. He's called them hostages, said he will pardon them, believes that they are political prisoners, and all this other shit. That is aid and comfort. That is included in it. If he'd have just kept his fucking mouth shut, if he'd have pardoned all these assholes silently, he could make an argument in court. This is how fucking stupid Trump is. If he'd have pardoned all the Jan 6ers and said they misunderstood what I was saying, and a lot of them believed that what I meant was attack that, and I didn't mean that, and so some of these people got caught up in that, and they went there, and that was not the intention of that day, he could have let all of them go and still been able to run for office. But he won't shut the fuck up about it, and he keeps pushing it even further. This is the aid and comfort part. He has promised that he will release them, and he's even lately referred to them as hostages. Like, at a certain point, just shut the fuck up. This is so lame. How does this not even occur to them?
To that,
you have to at least look. If you're not gonna, you can't pretend this doesn't exist. You have to at some point go. At least the some people say part. Remember, Fox used to be big on the some people say shit. So they at least got to float this idea that some people are saying that he's giving aid and comfort and blah, blah, blah. And have somebody go, that's ridiculous. Even though it's not, have them at least answer this shit.
By the state of Colorado. And we're learning more, by the way, about the 4 Democrat-appointed Colorado justices who kicked Trump off the ballot. We circled them for you, so you'll know.
You didn't have... Your graphics guy couldn't clear a bullseye?
Who they are. 3 are Ivy Leaguers.
Oh, my God. So they studied. By the way, remember when Trump used to brag that he was an Ivy Leaguer? Is Horton Ivy League? He acts like it is. I never really looked that part of it up.
One of them is something of an icon in the gay community.
Oh, okay. So that'll do it. Yeah. One of them is kind of an icon in the gay community. Well, I don't know why this person would be upset, because I thought Donald Trump said he was the best president for LGBT people ever.
Another is a jazz musician.
Oh, you know what that means. Heroin. Probably listens to Billie Holiday and hangs out with black people.
They say
jazz musician. What the fuck?
They had, quote, little difficulty coming to their decision. The 3 Republicans on the court all voted in favor of Trump.
Really? And so these folks wrote 100 pages about why they struggle with this decision, but it's pretty clear. And then these 3 just went, no. No, 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 and no. And that's the argument. That's the counter. Is that what we're doing?
Is this partisan?
But excuse me, I would like to know if the other 3 at least play an instrument, because I don't know for a fact, but this guy looks a lot like the trumpet player that played with Billy Gibbons the other night. I know he's not, but very, very similar. Just saying. And that guy could blow, man. That guy was amazing. But also, that guy has an upright bass at home that he's been looking to get back to in a while. You know, he's been like, it stares at me and I should get working on it again, but I lost my calluses and it just hurts to play, you know. I got blisters on my fingers.
Republicans on the court all voted in favor of Trump.
Shocking. Why is that not the partisan part?
Is this partisan?
Hal, do not ever say that guy can blow ever again.
As partisan as it looks.
Yes, Harris.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, the hardest thing for me is for people to try to assume that the legal system is working.
The hardest thing for you is for people to try to assume that the legal system is working. Try to assume. Oh, it's just word salad. Okay, I got you. It's just gibberish. I'm sorry. I was trying to make sense of that.
This is all politics. It's all politics. You just laid.
Well, I would agree. I think the Republicans that are on there voted to support him, even though they know it's wrong. They voted to support Trump. Yeah, it's politics. They're all. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but one of them is a country musician. Huh? The other one has a cousin who goes to monster truck rallies. I think you know where I'm going with this.
Now, the background of these individuals, their party affiliation. It is silly for anyone to honestly believe that the legal system is working correctly.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, arguably, unless you're saying that it's silly for anybody to believe that the Trump voters on that panel did so because on the merits and not just because they support Trump.
The legal system has been hijacked. It is a dual system of justice against President Trump. And if anyone...
Boo fuckity who
honestly looks for a legal analysis as to the decision of yesterday by the Colorado Supreme Court, you're kidding yourself.
Okay, do me a favor. While they're on screen, somebody please put up the 14th Amendment and Section 3 specifically so that both of these assholes can see the aid and comfort part. Hold on. I always have to do it myself. Every time. I'm going to try it. I try to do it. Always trying to make me do shit. I want to spend most of my time just making silly jokes about these fucking ridiculous folks, but they always make me do extra work. No person, even if they have a doofy fucking hairdo and orange skin and think the Filet-O-Fish at McDonald's is called a fish delight and live in a rental property in Florida, no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid and comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, removes such disability. That's the one area, because you've already taken a motherfucking oath. You've already taken the oath. So the standard for you is higher than the average fucking person. Because I got news for you. Anybody who didn't previously take an oath, who was there on Jan 6 and participated in this shit, they can run for office. All of them can. And it wouldn't matter at all. It wouldn't even come up. But because this is based on the fact that you already took an oath. This is not based on your individual liberties as a human being. When you take an oath, it narrows what you're allowed to do and with whom and to whom. It's one of the reasons, by the way, for the record, why the FISA lie that they always talk about, that somebody modified one of these FISA warrants to keep spying on Carter Page, who's a fucking asshole, who used to work for Gazprom, and then he's fucking a runner for Trump between him and fucking Russians at the RNC. Good Lord. That the reason why the lie on that FISA thing benefited him by this guy changing it. What he took off was that Carter Page had previously been a source for some CIA dude. They'd asked him questions and they'd gotten information from him. And they took that off. You know why? Because as an average citizen, the FISA court will say, okay, you can't just use the FISA court on an average American citizen. They can make mistakes. You can overstep your bounds. They're not held to a regular standard. Americans are just being Americans and stuff. But if you have taken an oath or you have been a source previous, that means that you are privy to or have been seen to be privy to previously, stuff in regard to national security. And therefore, we might have to keep a look on keep an eye out for what you might be doing. That's why we got to look at you a little harder, because you previously have been involved in all this shit. This has nothing to do with the rights of the citizenry to blah blah blah. This has to do with the fact that Trump took an oath and he blew it. He fucking blew it. And And by the way, I want to say thank you while I'm at this to our trolls that are here today. Thank you for being here because you give us a gift that nobody else in the chat room can give us. You spread us out into the interwebs in a way that our regular viewers can't. Because all of them, if my stuff shows up with their stuff, it makes sense in the algorithm, but you boost us into it. And I got to tell you, the one gift, everybody wonders what the greatest gift you can give somebody is. During the holidays especially, the greatest gift you can give is time. I've always said it's better to waste money than time because you can get more money. Time, once it's spent, is gone. And I want to thank the trolls who spend their time here because on the one hand, they're pissing into the wind and wondering why their face is wet. But also on the other side, they're not someplace else where they might actually upset somebody because our group here, we don't shake easily. We're not scared easily. So we kind of enjoy you guys dicking around in the background. It's kind of hilarious. So thanks for the overspray. Don't tell them. I have to tell them because it's the holidays and I gotta let them know, what we really think. I'm not hiding that from them. And again, I genuinely mean it. And eventually, if they're not careful, they might learn something. So thanks trolls for being here. Don't forget to give a thumbs down at some point because I got to tell you also, the algorithm doesn't give a fuck. If you, and especially on Facebook, if you write a bunch of shit or if you're angry, I don't like this show, or use the angry emoji. I tell everybody, if you're on Facebook right now, please give me an angry emoji right now because the algorithm, for whatever reason, I think it's emotional content. We need emotional content. You have to have that to drive it up into the Facebook algorithm. That helps more than anything else. Smiley faces, for whatever reason, doesn't fucking do it. But on Facebook, if you do the angry emoji, that helps a lot. Eddie, there's no thumbs down button. I know. We know, Eddie. We know. Okay, here we go. Back to why these assholes think that Trump is having his rights taken away because he violated his oath of office.
It is pure politics, plain and simple, Harris.
Politico Playbook, speaking of politics, had this on the Colorado decision, quote, the impact on the primary seems clear enough. If anything, it will help Trump rallying his most fervent supporters and forcing even his most bitter rivals to defend him.
Yeah, it didn't work, actually. Basically, they were like, I don't need this to beat him. They weren't defending him, though. They were like, yeah, it's true, but wait, I don't need it. That was what Nikki Haley said. And even DeSantis, I wouldn't call that, like, I wouldn't say he was defending him. Nah, at all. And also, he's only got his most fervent supporters left. That's all he's got left.
Well, all of that is already happening. And for any doubters, Trump's poll numbers jumped by nearly 10 points after his first indictment by a Manhattan DA.
And he still only has 50% of his own party.
Alvin Bragg. His numbers held steady through the next 3 indictments and continued to grow. An average of national polling now has him at 63% and voters' choice for the Republican nomination.
RCP averages for GOP primary race. Now, the way she was talking about it, you'd almost think she was talking about national numbers, about how popular he is, right? That's would be the assumption. That's what most people looking at this and listening to what she just said and seeing that picture. Look at this thing. Look at all these dates. Look at that. And then as long as you don't read the text over here, as long as you don't realize that's just Republicans because a bunch of people are dumping out or not calling themselves Republicans anymore.
I was just saying that at the end of Mark Meredith's great reporting, that this only potentially helps Trump, but it hurts the system.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the system I'm worried about.
It destroys the system. Harris, there are...
Yeah, what were they thinking of after the Civil War putting this shit in there?
People who dislike President Trump. But
No, that's not fair. I don't dislike President Trump. It's not even a matter of like or dislike or even hate. I find him disgusting. folks, I gotta say, you're just gonna. We're just gonna pretend it's a fucking wash. This you think the category of like and dislike has anything to do with this? There you go. As a matter of fact, why don't we just see? And there's a. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Let's just have this one of him just kind of hanging out, so that two of them can enjoy this. Right? Maybe these guys want to listen in. Yeah. Right. So this is about. So the idea, the concept here. Where's Clinton? I don't know. It's interesting because Clinton flew on his plane a couple of times, and if he participated in any of this shit, fuck him. I don't care. End of story. Yeah. And I would argue that if you flew with him after he was, it was well known what he was up to, which is I think anytime after, say, 1996, probably was when the first real stories started coming out. If you kept flying with that motherfucker, bye-bye. RFK flew with him as well. That's right. Meanwhile, the only thing that eventually broke up him and Trump was that he tried to fuck one of the daughters of one of the big high rollers that went to Mar-a-Lago. He didn't give a rat fuck when Epstein was fucking the high school girls in Palm Beach County. Fucking keep inviting him to the goddamn party. Everybody fucking knew. But then he was just mad because he fucked with one of the like fancy people that comes to Mar-a-Lago. He didn't give a shit. And by the way, he may have done it with like the daughters of other people who were there. It was just this particular dude, or Trump fucking found out.
System is being challenged. What makes us unique is our rule of law, and it's being questioned. And Trump hates.
No, it's not. There's a law. There's a law about giving aid and comfort. He just referred to the fuck Jan 6ers as hostages. He said he would pardon them, even though he didn't when he had a fucking shot. Oh yeah, and Chomsky too. Chomsky was on this and he asked him for financial advice like well after he was arrested. What the fuck?
Leaders are now supporting Trump on the issue that he deserves to be on the ballot. He deserves to face the voters, not 4 judges.
Yeah, he deserves to all the voters who want to look past the fact that he wished Ghislaine Maxwell well, and that this guy, Jeffrey Epstein, was arrested during his presidency. They partied together for 2 fucking decades. Let me say something. Okay. All those Trump knows the best people, hashtag the best people. Okay. Apparently, he had no idea that Jeff Sessions and Bill Barr would turn on him. He had no idea Chris Wray would turn on him. Every member of anybody that he added to his cabinet that eventually went, I fucking hate that guy. They were like, I had no idea. Somebody else recommended him, and I had no idea, even though I know the best people, and blah, blah, blah. On top of that, he partied with that motherfucker for 2 goddamn decades, and even said in an interview, he likes his ladies kind of young, if you ask me. He fucking knew. He fucking knew. He didn't give a shit until it might have bit him in the ass business-wise. So all this is about is whether or not, like, MAGA and Trump world will get the chance to vote for a dude who partied with Jeffrey Epstein for 2 fucking decades. Yeah. I mean, he and Ghislaine and Melania. Trump talked about like whether or not Tiffany, before she was born, would have his wife's tits. He would talk his own daughter. He was like, if I was going to say sex. Remember that shit? And you're okay with that. Like, maggots are cool with that. They think it's charming. They think it's funny, cool, and awesome that he flew to Little St. James Island and back and forth across the fucking country in, what they thought was like an international airspace because it was so high in the sky that the laws don't apply.
And this is our problem right now. Our legal system is being tested. And this is why the Supreme Court has to rule 9-0, Harris. It has to rule 9-0.
Yeah, it's not going.
Those lawyers.
By the way, the Supreme Court's just going to go, there's a remedy. The House has to vote on it. The House and Senate can vote to give him the rights back. That's it. He doesn't have to be, it doesn't say he has to be convicted. It says participate or give aid and comfort after taking an oath. The oath itself is what narrows his rights and available rights in this situation. Fuck, these guys are dumb.
Those judges know what is right, and 9-0 is the only ruling that they can come up with.
No, it isn't. They already have a remedy. The remedy is a vote in the House and Senate.
Can other states look at this and try to do the same thing?
Yeah. Yes. Other states can look at Donald Trump and go, a lot of pictures of this dude with Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know if we want him on our ballot.
Right now, yes. Until the Supreme Court rule, yes. And this is what you're having. You're having 50 possible different outcomes because they don't like a particular candidate. In this situation, they don't like President Trump. Due process out the window.
Also, for the record, I might add, there's almost materially no difference in policy between what DeSantis would do or Ramaswamy or even Nikki Haley or Chris Christie. Like, there's very few things that they would do differently from Trump ultimately. They just wouldn't be as belligerent and fucked up about it. The only thing they wouldn't probably do is openly gargle Putin's balls, on stage in front of the entire world. But everything short of that, and certainly behind closed doors, yeah, you like drone strikes with no rules of engagement, killing civilians, willy-nilly, you're going to get it with all four of those motherfuckers. But this isn't about whether or not Trump, faces Biden or whether the Republicans are going to get what their priorities are as, in terms of what they want for the country. Nothing. This is about whether these assholes are fighting about, I don't want to have to vote for these other four fuckers. That's it. This is more a battle between Republicans not, wanting to vote for Trump and not wanting to vote for these four other assholes.
And Harris,
even though they would get the exact same thing out of the presidency.
You don't even need a conviction to even make such a ruling. That's what the Colorado Supreme Court has done. They have opened up a Pandora box that allows every state to make their own individual ruling in defiance of the Constitution. This is a scary day.
Yeah, it's not in defiance. Seriously, I mean, I don't think around, what would be the equivalent? After the Civil War, if somebody, who had been an officer in the Union or had been a president or a vice president or in the cabinet or something like that, or a military officer, had written an article in a newspaper about how the Confederacy was right, that person would not have been allowed to run for president, even if there were states in the Southern territories that would still want it. That's why the rule had to, because there were still people who would fucking do that. Jesus Christ, the Jesse James gang were like basically Confederates, leftover, like dead-ender Confederates who were trying to steal from northern banks.
Hey, Harris, I can't say it enough as a lawyer for 33 years who loves this country.
Really quickly, how fast can it happen that the U.S. Supreme Court would consider this?
The moment that petition is filed by President Trump to appeal this decision, the Supreme Court can work at warp speed to send a message.
Oh, so it'll take them somewhere between 2 years, like Operation Warp Speed. And also, just like Operation Warp Speed, no matter what happens at the end of it, none of his supporters will believe it.
Such a ruling out immediately to make sure there's a uniform system of qualifying on the ballot. So I encourage the Supreme Court to move quickly.
Well, there's one other factor that I think is important here, is how stupid the brief is, how stupid the actual legal writing is. Because it's not Trump who's drafting this, which would probably, considering the quality of his lawyers, as horrifying and stupid and blathering as it would be, it might even be an improvement. I don't know. But you have to understand, it's like the Habbas, right? We're talking about the Habbas of the world. Habba, habba, habba.
And I encourage Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to have a profile encourage moment and say this is wrong.
Yeah, you calling on them with that. I can't.
Yeah, I'm sure they're watching.
Wait to follow the news on that because that will spread.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they were both watching the Faulkner fuck off or whatever this show is, and they what choice did they have?
Leo Terrell, thank you for your expertise and your time. And
what expertise? What expertise? I'm dead serious. And honestly, like they bring up that he's a lawyer and he's been in a courtroom, but not all areas of law are created equal. Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, see? You get me? Merry fucking Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Harry. You do a great job. Thanks for having me.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, everyone. Just real quick, I don't know what the fuck that was about. All right. I went way over. We gotta. This is short though. So sorry, I gotta move Trump and Epstein. I don't know. Maybe he can just sit in the corner here these guys can both just sit in the corner and watch. While Patrick Banana Daiquiri and Glenn Beck, who is that a cravat or is he tourniqueted his neck again? Yeah, we'll see. All right, so what is this? What? You can't wear a tie, but you can put something on the inside. What is this? I don't understand this outfit. Please, someone explain this shit to me. All right. It's balloon neck at this point. I don't know. It's a nut pouch. I don't know. I think that's a party foul. Okay, there we go. I like the title of this one. So, so Patrick Banana Daiquiri, who has that whatever attaboy. It used to be kind of like a Tony Robbins-esque thing that he was trying to get off the ground. It's turned political because nobody gives a shit and his advice is ass. I guess Glenn Beck had him on to his podcast, and this is the line is, "Do Republicans hate their base?" Spoiler alert: yes. And you know who more than anyone? Trump. Trump can't fucking stand his base. They're so disappointing to him. Look how, like, whatever he looks at his guys, like, great. This is who I got. These poor assholes and these new money dickheads. Great.
I think the Republican Party.
Okay, why is he got why is a hanging mic now with the Glenn Beck logo on it? What's happening? What is this? I know what most of you are thinking. Like, I had no idea Woody Allen had a shellfish allergy.
Has chosen the wrong enemy because they go against their base. They go against a lot of the people who are saying, "Hey, I love the Constitution. What do you say we rein some of this crap in and be a constitutional?"
What's the motive? Okay, real quick. Why are you in a fucking airplane hangar for the Echo? Seriously. It's yes. No, I don't. Jiminy Glick let himself go. Why would that be? David Patrick. But David, you know.
Public. What's the motive?
Sorry, this is loud. Yeah.
Why do that? Why go against the base?
Arrogance, believing the crap that they shovel every day.
Yeah, this is great. This is now. Why did I come here again?
Not really living in the space of...
Fuck, this is gibberish.
A constitutional conservative. I think they despise those people.
Yes, he's talking about Republicans, by the way.
Why do you think, though?
Why do you think that? Well, objection, Your Honor. States facts, not in evidence. We have no proof at all that Glenn Beck actually thinks. So.
Then maybe you're talking about rhinos. I don't think you're talking about Republican. You're talking about rhinos, right?
Yeah,
you're talking
I'm
about
talking about the party.
Yeah.
Oh,
which is all rhinos. You don't understand. Pat Booby, you came on Glenn's show and you don't know what he says all the time?
I don't disagree there.
Yeah, I don't mean Republicans. I mean,
yeah, I don't mean Republicans. I mean Republicans in name only who hold office as Republicans and have an R next to their name every time they're elected and win Republican primaries and then win Republican office and serve as Republicans and are, supported by the structure of the, the Republican National Committee, let's just say, that group. Yeah.
In the party.
All right, I'm fully with you. I think Republicans, I think 3 communities are ruining America, if you ask me. I think it's
3 communities. And see if you're in one of these groups. I bet you are. I know I probably am. Let's find out. 3 groups are ruining America.
The tolerant Christians.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. And that's the great thing about, when are the Christians going to realize that if you can say one thing about Christ, that really stood out as a character trait, it was his intolerance. That's what I loved about Jesus, was the whole intolerance of the whole thing. He just wouldn't put up with shit. You know what I mean? Jesus was kicking ass and kicking names and just kicked everything. Anything that was in front of him. He's kicking tables. Yeah, Jesus loved intolerance. And Christianity in and of itself is, it really is, if you could define it in one way, it would be intolerance. Okay, next up, that's tolerant Christians. Okay, cool. That's the first group, which since I was baptized when I was 11, he means me. So I'm already in one of these groups. I might be in all 3, unless he says rhinos or some shit, because that's Republican in name only. And even if I was like, well, there's some areas where I probably have conservative beliefs or something like that, like most people do when they're talking, they throw that bone around. I wouldn't identify as a Republican ever, because I actually believe that people's votes should count. It's kind of a sticking point with me. You're in group 1 too? Excellent. LaRon Harrison, thank you. Who else is in group 1? Anybody else? All right, here we go.
It's the do your thing libertarians.
Oh, the do your thing libertarian. Isn't that the only kind? Isn't that what defines libertarianism? What the ever-loving fuck? Yes, I agree. Rand Paul is an asshole, as is Ron. Yeah.
And you can talk about the rich Republicans that don't tell anybody we're Republicans, baby, because their Democratic friends won't like it. Those 3 communities are destroying America.
Oh, they're destroying tolerant Christians. Yuck. Libertarians who are apparently secretly libertarians, and Republicans with Democrat friends who always vote Republican but don't talk about it enough, I guess. Yeah, this is just bullshit. This is absolute nonsense. Especially I gotta say, as goofy as the first one is, the second one is absolutely nuts. I mean, it's literally the definition of libertarianism. That's why it's not a functioning, political aesthetic at all. Libertarians aren't, it's not even a political movement. It's so fucking goofy. I mean, you might as well just say sovereign citizen at this point.
Destroying America.
Terrible, terrible. These fucking laissez-faire Ron Paul types. These Republicans that don't wear the jersey, and these Christians that won't throw the first stone. What happened to you, Christians? Why won't you cast the first stone, you bunch of pussies? What the hell? What is this? What? I gotta say, this guy says some dumb shit on his show, but I had no idea he had to go on other people's show to get dumber.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I do. What you just said. Honest to God, I'm shocked that you managed to squeak out something dumber than what Glenn said. Honest to God, I'm impressed.
One of my most uncomfortable interviews I ever did, I'm in Chicago, and I'm talking to Mike Ditka.
Uh-huh. You mean the guy who owned the restaurant where I was found to be the funniest teenager in Chicago contest? Is where the contest was held, and I was crowned the funniest teenager in Chicago at Mike Ditka's restaurant? You mean that Mike Ditka? Da Bears? You mean the guy that before I was an extra in a commercial with him, before I was in the union when I was 16 years old? You mean that Mike Ditka? Tell me about it, you tit.
I'm more of a post-game interview guy more than the game.
Right. After it's over, you can say you knew it. That's what you're saying? You can't really comment while it's happening because you don't know fuck all about the topic. So you wait till it's over and then so you're a Monday morning quarterbacker is what you're saying. So you're talking to Mike Ditka, who his whole fucking life has had to deal with armies of Monday morning quarterbackers following him around. Then what?
I have consumed more Mike Ditka post-game interviews than I have consumed him actually coaching games, okay?
That's because he's old.
So when you would watch him and says, hey, here's a quarter, buddy, go talk to somebody that cares. I don't want to talk to you. I like talking to him more. What do you want? I'm sick and tired of being prepared. I want to get lucky. He was always in the face of media, right? Mike was. And
No, you watched a lot of his interviews, but I mean, he had a winning team. They interviewed him a lot afterwards. What the fuck are you talking about?
he was tough, and him and Buddy Ryan, and they finally won. One of the greatest tight ends of all time. Coach does what he does. One of the best documentaries ever is I think it's the 84-85 Bears.
Jesus Christ. That's why he was everywhere. Yeah, back then when he was coaching the fucking team and they won the Super Bowl, you mean? Yeah. I kind of remember that.
And I'm interviewing him, and I ask him about Colin Kaepernick because at that time I think he got fired from ESPN. And I noticed he started apologizing. It's like, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I pushed people too hard. Maybe I'm this. Maybe I'm like, no. You're right. Don't second guess yourself because they're louder and they make you seem like they're bigger. They're not. You know when a community...
That's his example. So this asshole picks... That's his follow-up. That's how he sticks the fucking landing on his bizarre assertion before of the three groups, the tolerant Christians, the laissez-faire libertarians, and then Republicans that aren't loud enough. And the way he sticks the fucking landing is, I watched, I had just watched the documentary about Mike Ditka before he came on your show, and then he just wasn't like, oh yeah, fuck Kaepernick, and that's, he didn't bang out the N-word for you or some shit when you were hoping he would? What are you talking about?
He comes in screaming like you get into a street fight and a guy tells you, I'm going to call my friends and I'm part of a gang and they're going to come and whoop your ass. And you say, you do the following. And you say, call them right now. You have a 50-50 shot of getting your ass whooped.
Yeah.
Because if he does have those friends,
yes,
you're getting
trouble.
Destroyed.
What the ever-loving shit is this asshole talking about? This is fucking dumb. Alan, you get a chance to look at the can't fix not a mod. Oh, okay. I'll work on it, Andrea. We'll work on it. Does anybody know what the hell? First of all, can we all just say that assholes like this and Glenn Beck and Stu and other people, when they start talking tough, it's like when Steve Bannon starts using war terminology, and you're like, dude, you're at war with fucking soap.
But if all of a sudden his eyes flinch, guess what? He doesn't have those 20 gangs.
Oh my, yeah, okay, cool. Maybe he's a fucking psycho and all of his friends are like, you call him and he's like, okay. Like maybe he just realized, oh, tonight's the night I get to kill somebody. That occur to you, Mr. fucking Poker Face? You asshat? The fuck are you talking about? Somebody save us from badasses in suits.
American conservatives are thinking these ideas have such a big backing, but they don't. They have fooled you. And your backbone is like, well, what if this and what if that and what if this? No.
Yeah, no. No, you don't consider your options. You look and see if the guy's eye is twitching. You assume what it means based on previous eye twitches if you've ever seen one before. And you put your life on the line over nothing outside a bar for no fucking reason. And then that's a great way to approach politics. No, we're not approaching a point, Gwen. I have no idea what the fuck. This guy's this is classic dumb shittery. Fuck me.
We have to kind of be proud of being...
To be stupid, proud of ignoring options, proudly ignorant of other possibilities or solutions.
An American, proud of the Constitution, proud of what this country has done, proud of what...
Yeah, that's what, if you ask one of these assholes you call a rhino, that's what they'll tell you they're doing.
It's produced, proud of the fact that it's produced jobs for other countries that are benefiting from the technology that our guys have produced and invented. And we have to go back to the right hero-making machine, recognizing the right heroes. We're not recognizing the right heroes today.
No, I would agree. I think somewhere in the dark butt knuckle of the internet, somebody thinks of this dickhead and Glenn Beck as their heroes. I know it sounds like madness, but if you go far enough, you can find somebody, right? Clearly. That person is broken. That person really needs to find a music style they like and go start seeing some live shows.
America's making a very big mistake. If we don't get our act together,
we might end up with 3.5% unemployment forever. It might just keep going down. And then what happens?
This next generation is going to be so confused. They don't know who to look up to today. They don't have an idea who to look.
Well, I mean, what can you blame them? You're on the internet. You have way more. You have to understand, when they look on the internet, the stuff that pops up because the algorithm, if they're looking for political stuff, it's going to be you and Glenn and Ben Shapiro and other people because you got shit tons of followers. No wonder they're fucking confused.
Look up to today. So we have to kind of take a time out, step back.
And kick your own ass. What?
Hey, we've been a great organization for a long time, okay?
Yeah, talk about America like a coach. We're a great organization. We just need a better quarterback like Donald Trump, somebody who can really, he's got a good passing game, good ground game. He gets sacked all the fucking time and then, I guess whines and walks off the field.
We won for a long time, decade after decade after decade.
And so you're just going to blaze right by Vietnam and stuff, I guess. Or we're just we're after that. Okay. He's talking about the Reagan years.
Now, we fell for the trap of, when the Ford organization.
I think Ford is what it is. The Ford organization?
We're suing
the cars?
The founder. And the grandkids and some of the kids, the relatives were saying the founder doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. He knows nothing. They're suing.
I don't know what you're talking about. And I don't care.
This guy. They're in court. And they're saying, do you know that car, what kind of an engine it has? He says, I don't. Do you know what kind of... I don't. Do you know what this part is? I don't. And finally he says, listen, you can ask me as many questions as you want. In my room, I have a machine with 27 buttons. I can press any button and get an answer within seconds.
Correct.
That's why I'm running a company.
Yeah, but their argument would be that there are people in the organization that don't have to ask. That's the point. That the head of the company shouldn't be somebody who can. I can do that too. I got news for you, motherfucker. I've got Google on my phone. We can find the answer to a lot of these things. Right. Everybody's the head of Ford now. It's the guy or the woman in this particular case, I think, in terms of the family, who's worked in the company long enough that they actually fucking do know. And so they don't have to waste time asking base questions and make better decisions. This is just dumb. Good Lord. This guy has fucking millions of subscribers on YouTube.
But sometimes we're sitting there, we're bullying the guy that started a company. We're bullying the people that created this incredible country, this idea that we're benefiting from.
Oh, you mean like somebody like Biden that's been a public servant for a very long time and has dedicated his life to being an elected representative and knows where everything is, and knows how shit works, and it's why he was able to pass an infrastructure bill, whereas Trump couldn't fucking do it because he tried this hostile takeover.
And we're apologizing for them. What are we apologizing for them for?
I don't know what the fuck you're even talking about. I'm sorry, but none of us know what the shit you're on about.
This apologizing stuff has to end, and we have to stand up and say, hey, whatever your country is.
Real quick. First of all, Christianity, inherent in it, is the ability to understand the importance of and have respect for apologizing when warranted. But also, how about whining? How about stop? If you're worried about people, we need to stop apologizing. How about fucking stop whining? Because all these motherfuckers do on the right these days is fucking whine. And they were all talking about how we're all snowflakes and we're all weak and we buckle the minute Trump won and now I'm drinking liberal tears and all that horse shit. Meanwhile, fucking whining. This asshole knows for a fact, and so does Glenn, that their stock holdings have gone up since Trump left office. Have gone up. They have not gone down. They've not crashed. None of that shit. Now, granted, they might have had some crypto because they're fucking morons and they lost their shirt on crypto, so that's why they think the world is collapsing. But goddamn, the whining, just fucking grow a pair. Jesus.
We've done a lot of good for yours. And this is what we're going to be doing. This is what you cross the line, we have a problem. Don't use our name to kill other people. Don't do that. Here's where I'll let you go. You cross the line here, you don't have our support, and I'm going to publicly call you out. Don't compromise our relationship.
All right, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about either. Dude, you can't be this fucking broad and then go from generic to specific and back again without at least fucking touch base. What the shit?
No problem. We need something like that. We don't.
Like what? Like what? What is that? What the fuck? I don't even know. And goddamn it, Glenn's gonna say yes. He's whatever the fuck this guy. He's gonna. Yeah, totally, absolutely. So you think that absolutely he's gonna affirm the gibberish.
Don't have that today. Today it's like favors for favors for favors.
What? Today it's like favors for favors for favors. There are more laws about the favors you can do in government now than there ever have been. And there need to be more. But Jesus Christ, man, stop acting like it's the fucking 40s and you could like run a whiskey business or a bootlegging business on the side just by paying off the fucking mayor.
It's problematic.
Yeah, it is that's it. Well, at least I will give, if you hear Glenn, he was like, let me ask you something. Let me ask you this. Can you kick my ass? That's amazing. I got to say, I'm stunned at how dull and dumb that was. Good Lord. And by the way, I'd like to remind you, as long as hi chat room, yeah, what the fuck is actually true? What I'd like to remind you guys that was not the whole show. That was the clip they pulled to make a point. What? So somebody at the Blaze went, wait. This piece. No. Don't put that part on the beginning. It's all very clear. This 10-minute chunk is the essence, the very essence of this conversation that the two of them had. And I you know what? They're probably right. The whole hour or whatever the fuck it was just as dumb and circular and bullshit. Good Lord. And ultimately, the biggest thing of all, whiny, weak-kneed bullshit to the man right now, and it is mostly guys, so I'll stick to that. On the Republican side, the whining. And you know, and there's a good reason. There's a good reason why they're whining. I'm sorry, the chat room got stuck there. There's a reason why they're whining. Because they have no definitive answer. They can't just nail it on the facts. You gotta understand, one of the reasons why Republicans are whining as much as they are, and is, imagine if you were in Comer's situation, you know, or you were in the situation where you're watching Comer come up all the time and going, we're getting very close to something that we think might turn out to be, it looks a lot like, and therefore, and if you had to hear that shit every fucking day, and in every one of these arguments you're in, you can't just go, they found this and that's that. They can't do it. They can't do it. It's not there. They're incapable of doing it. Right? So they have to just bitch. They just have to whine. They have to just go, wait, this is so unfair. It's just not fair. This is like there's two like unequal system of justice, and and they're just after, they just hate him. They just hate Trump, and they just after like, because they can't do what we can do, which is 3.7% unemployment, rising wages, the housing market just turned a corner as well. There's like building is coming back. There's more manufacturing in the United States than any period since 1950 in just 3 fucking years. There's more investment in manufacturing in the United States than ever. An infrastructure bill was passed. We're no longer in Afghanistan. I could say that. We could say that's definitive. And that annoys them and it upsets them. We're like, Trump always had infrastructure weak. And Biden managed to pass an infrastructure bill. It's passed. It's there. It's done. It's done. That's it. Yeah. And yes, we are not at war. Yeah, GDP was 5% this year. Jesus Christ. Even in spite of everything else? Fuck, GDP was heading so high that it was concerning that the Fed might extend the rise in interest rates. We got rich in Afghanistan? I don't know what that means, Greg. I don't know what we got rich in Afghanistan. I don't think so. Oh, who got rich in Afghanistan? I see. I didn't see that. Yeah. Who got rich in Afghanistan? Nobody. Honestly. It's a black hole. It's that's the thing. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Like, we're out. We're out. Trump ran on getting us out. No more forever wars. None of that shit. Right? We're not getting any more, and we're getting out. We don't need to be there. We ran on it. We shouldn't have been in Iraq in the first place. That was one of the things that he said until he didn't say it on Howard Stern and all that shit. But he was going to get us out of Afghanistan. 4 fucking years, nothing. And then even after he leaves office and he was going to punt it to the next term, what does he say? We would have stayed at Bagram. We can't leave a country and stay. Sorry. So, and I don't yet, none of the maggots have been able to explain that either. So we'll see. Halliburton and Blackwater did okay in Afghanistan. Well, Blackwater had to change its name to She and got kind of driven underground. They certainly make a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but they had to move. And Halliburton was more Iraq, right? That was the thing. And again, both tied to, in one case, Dick Cheney, who was the vice president, not a Democrat, and in particular, I guess, Trump's education secretary, her brother ran Blackwater, right? Still Republicans across the board. Opium dealers are doing just fine. Yeah, I don't know. Those are the people who got left behind, allegedly, right? Those are the American citizens that didn't want to leave, which are all people with dual citizenship who were involved in the opium trade, who were like, I'll stay. There's going to be I got some deals to make. I'll be all right. Yeah. So, but what healthcare plan? Where's Trump's healthcare plan? Where is it? That's why they whine. That's what the whining's about. That's why Republicans whine constantly, is because it just isn't anything they can kind of plant a flag. And even when they're like, we have the best border ever. Yeah, during COVID, no one was going anywhere. No, we had more cases than Mexico did. Of course, people weren't crossing the border illegally. They didn't want to die for a shit job. Let's see, I could stay here and live, or go to America and pick strawberries that aren't going to sell and get killed. Yeah, meanwhile, Trump's, his healthcare plan, 2 weeks away. It's just 2 weeks away. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's always 2 weeks away. And he ran on getting us out of Afghanistan, but we're going to keep Bagram and stay there forever because our soldiers need to be an hour from where China apparently, builds their nuclear weapons, not where they're stored or where they'll be fired from, which, I don't know, once they've already been made, what fucking difference does it make? It's just odd. And plus, you think we can't see that shit from space? Or we don't have bombers going by? What are you talking about? Like, it's amazingly dumb. And again, of course, there's always that weird little thing that Trump partied with Epstein for 2 fucking decades. I'm a lid farmer, motherfucker. Anyways, I love you guys. Appreciate you being here. I'm going to take off. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. And I will see you later on. I got a show to go to. My lady's got a show tonight. Boston Brian's in here. Get out of town. Come on. You got to come on the show, Boston Brian. We got stuff to talk about. I'm sure you get some of the trolls in there, right? The same folks trying desperately to be noticed, to be loved, hoping Daddy Trump will recognize how they fight so hard for him, even though he never did any of the things that would help them out. I mean, it's terrible. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a great idea. You can't go wrong with Boston Brian. It's just there. So anyways, much love. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else, and we'll see you very soon. Okay, bye. Get those emotes going. There they are. Look at that. There you go. Look at that. Peace, everybody. Later. Thanks for hitting that like, kids. If anything drives a troll crazy, it's the fact that you like the stream, and them not liking the stream actually helps us.